all about speedrunning games under $20. I'm your host, Midnight Vesper, and if you're new here, well, here's how this works. For more current/digital games, we'll be using digital terms like Steam, GOG, itch.io, Epic, etc., to look at the MSRP price of the game. For retro games, we'll be using a wide assortment of price charting websites and looking for the loose price of the game. We do not count any sales or discounts as they vary from time of purchase. A couple announcements for you all. Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online will be January 8th through the 15th. Head to gamesdonequick.com for more information. The games list did come out over the weekend, so if you have not seen it, that's a great place to check it out. And don't forget, the second submission period will be for games released after September 1st will be coming up as well. They will be on November 6th through the 12th. See gamesdonequick.com for more details. And since we're kind of in the spooky season, don't forget October 31st, we're going to have a Halloween spooktacular hosted by Egdisis and Smooth Operative. And if you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, use !links in chat for all things GDQ. Don't forget your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick with both hotfix and with Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 costs. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily GDQ content. And finally, if you're watching this on YouTube, hello YouTube. Hope you all are having a wonderful day. Be sure to press the like button on that video and subscribe to the channel. Also, go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. And I cannot wait for this show. We're going to have later on all 3 Toy Story games in reverse chronological order. So we're going to have Toy Story 3, 2, and 1 coming up later on the bargain bin. But first, we're going to go ahead and showcase something that I know chat's been talking about for a little bit, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. How are you all doing today? It's Joshua. Joshua's going to be running it. I had this whole thing scripted out, Joshua, and then I just kind of flubbed the ending. How are you?
I'm good.
That was, yeah. Yeah. It happens.
These are my commentators, Orion YTP.
Hello.
And Jayo.
Hello.
Yeah, and I will be running Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe any percent.
All right, so right off the bat, we have to do. Do you have to do the pre-run?
Yes,
setup?
I had just deleted data.
Okay. Okay, so right now, before we can even start the timer, we have to go through the sort of beginning of the run where he has to check off a few settings. They won't come readily apparent yet, but they'll be apparent later on as it's important for going through the any percent run, which is a weird category to define, but it's basically defined as going through and beating the quote unquote epilogue, so to speak. So once Josh gets his settings all hooked up, he'll just go.
I am ready.
Time will just start when he presses begin the game.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So first things first, you probably didn't notice it, but one of the options in that first settings menu was, have you played the Stanley Parable before? And it's a yes or no slider. If you have, you click yes. If you haven't, you click no. This is very important to the run, because if you select yes or no, depends how many endings you need to complete to get any of the fun new content like the epilogue that we were talking about before. So clicking yes means that we need to complete less endings compared to no, which you need to complete a lot more.
Right, and this game is all about choice. You're basically just an office worker named Stanley who is being talked to by this narrator describing all the things he is doing. And throughout most of the game, it's just all the game really is just focusing on a lot of straight lines and clean movement and clean turns and going through all the endings required to beat the epilogue as quickly as possible. But you will notice that this is the unrestricted version of any percent. So that means we're going to have some glitches to cut through a lot of the downtime, as you can demonstrate here. So Joshua has completed the quote-unquote archive ending of the game, which is one of the fastest endings needed to get archived. He's basically done with it. He just has to kill time waiting for the narrator to talk. And while we're doing that, we can talk a little bit about the Stanley Parable's history in general. So the Stanley Parable was originally released in 2013 on using the Valve Source engine, but late years down the road, it got released for the Ultra Deluxe, and it has all this new content, which we're going to be showing off here.
One thing to note, this ending, this archive ending, is actually a new ending exclusive to the Ultra Deluxe version. This is one of the small hints of like new content that we'll be seeing before the actual new content, which you'll know when that comes.
Oh.
You'll notice that the game is very cerebral, and the narrator often likes to taunt Stanley, by extension you. Bit of a warning here with the pause menu, because the timer doesn't really go as the pause menu is going off. I'll explain what.
Wait.
So right.
I'm just gonna do the safe way.
What could it mean?
What's called?
All right. So the trick that Josh is doing is called an ending overlap. So the game's really weird with triggers. He's trying to pause the frame. He is leaving the trigger, which if you play this game casually, if you close the door in yourself to lock yourself in the office, it triggers an ending. But if you pause the frame you exit that trigger, the game still thinks you're in the office. So it's running through the reluctant ending right now with this dialogue you're not supposed to be hearing. And while that ending is running, he's going to go off and do another ending, which is the falling off a lift and dying. So a fair bit of warning. There are a lot of tricks that involve mashing the pause menu to get certain tricks. So there might be a slight flashing lights warning.
You're going to be seeing Joshua just sort of sit here at the edge of the lift, and it's because the two endings for ending overlap to work, they need to end at around the same time-ish. So waiting at the end of the lift platform there allowed Josh to fall down when the coward ending or reluctant ending, I think is what it's actually called, to fall down and to end at around the same spot.
Now that we have a bunch of endings done, we unlock new content. This is content exclusive to the Stanley Parable, and it's important for accessing the epilogue.
I do appreciate how the door just went off and said, "Hey, by the way, new content."
Yeah, it's new content.
Oh, it gets way better.
You didn't buy the Stanley Parable again for nothing. For those who like a bit of trivia during this cutscene, this voice you're hearing is Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls.
Oh yeah, yeah. Most of the game you're hearing Kevin Brighton as the main narrator. We seem to be having a bit of technical issues on Josh's side. So
I'm sorry. Is it good?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. Thankfully, the game's timer pauses when you use the pause menu, so we don't lose any of our precious milliseconds.
Oh well, this sounds delightful.
So once we get through all these cardboard drawings here, we'll be able to do another major trick in this game, which is called jump storage, and we'll explain that after he gets out of the elevator here.
Famously, if you know about the original Stanley Parable, you know that you can't jump. This game keeps that rule. You can't jump in any spaces aside from you'll be seeing a jump circle, a very special jump circle soon. It's a little ring that you can jump in, but there's a way to glitch the ring or glitch the trigger so that you're able to jump outside of the ring.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable.
And that glitch is going to be very important for the rest of this run.
It's as if oh, okay.
And this new content is really exciting.
I'm a big fan of it.
Anyways, a little
that
bit
way.
of a
I'm really
flashing
excited.
lights warning with the menu.
All right, let's see. It's the
Yeah, here we are with the jump circle. We have 36 jumps, and
Is that it?
once Josh performs the pause glitch here, you'll notice that the press space to jump button text is still activated, which means jump glitch does in fact work. Now, he can't just go around jumping like a maniac in this ending in particular and a few others, because the jump circle will still decrease his jumps. And the funny thing is, if you use up all of your jumps, you will not be able to use them again. The jump circle actually keeps track. In these specific levels where this text is up, most of the time he doesn't really have to worry about that.
Oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes.
And as a note, the text is there because you're in a map with a jump circle. So there are a few maps with a jump circle. If you're in one of those maps, you got to be precious about your jumps. If you don't see the text, have fun.
This is what happens.
All right, we thank you for enjoying the new content.
Ooh.
Yep, that was it.
Cheap expansion to
Yeah,
market.
Oh, wow.
the jump circle.
I paid money for this?
Yeah, that was
What great
fast.
content.
On the level of craftsmanship.
I thought this was going to take 45 minutes.
Right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to
This game is
believe what
very
it actually
tongue-in-cheek.
says.
It
Test
has a lot of
achievement,
meta-humor.
please ignore. What quality assurance
This game
department
also
signed
does
up on
reference
this?
Twitter a
I'm
lot.
infuriated
The narrator
and
does
I'm
threaten
afraid
right now.
I
to diss the devs on Twitter several times.
Hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me.
The release of Ultra
That's great.
basically, that's a great question that Cullfish just asked. How did the release of Ultra Deluxe affect the community? We treat it as separate games. So the original Stanley Parable in 2013 has its own separate leaderboards because it's made in an entirely different engine. The original Stanley Parables was made in Valve Source, while this was made in Unity. So they're just treated as separate games entirely.
Come over here.
So because the narrator is disappointed with the new content, he's going to have us go in an event. That's very interesting. I'm wondering what that reminds me of.
So,
Elden Ring, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. You remember how
Did I hear correctly that the game was made under two different engines?
Content turned out to be. But
Yes,
the original.
How did
Sorry,
that? And you may not know the answer, but how would that affect? They have to build the game from the ground up again.
And tucked it away here where the
Pretty much. They had tools to very basically, in a very basic sense, transfer maps over, but 90% of things needed to be rebuilt from scratch.
It's why this re-release kind of took a while. They made a little video
experiences like the launch
video
of the
that
Stanley Parable
showcased
on PC.
how
You see,
fans
Stanley,
wanted the
some of
game to come out
memories
right now. It's
are
like, nope,
reminded
we
of
will
the
not
step
rush.
over here is where I keep
We will not
reviews of the
rush.
Stanley
It will be
Parable.
delayed and it will
Like this
come out
stunning
just
triumph
right.
of games
Yep, it was
journalism.
announced
10 out
in
of 10
December
from
2018 in whatever day the Game Awards was that year, and released on April 27th, 2022. So that is good 3 years, 4 years, 4 years.
I just like to point out that the jump circle is not in this level, so Josh is free to just goof off as much as he wants and be able to stand on things you're not supposed to stand because we have jump now. This is the memory zone. The narrator is very displeased with the new content, so he's gonna take us through a trip down memory lane and revisit the original Stanley Parable, showing how great it used to be. And this level in particular is where things start to get a little crazy, because now that we have jump stored, we can skip a lot of content.
Here's another moving
But first we have to get through
passage,
all
this
the game
time from
reviews,
GameSpot.com.
showcasing how much we just all love the Stanley Parable.
Stimulating commentary on
And
the
also how
nature of
great the
joyful
Source engine
games,
is.
and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices.
Because this game has a lot of
I've been
dialogue that we
confronted
have to
with
go
a game.
through,
9 out of
Josh
10.
finds
Did
very
you get it,
creative
Stanley?
things to
The
get
game was perfect.
over, showing
It
off a
didn't
lot of
need
the
anything else.
Easter eggs
It
from the
didn't
original
need
launch, as
new
well as that little
content.
smiley.
It just needed to be left
It's having a good time. It seems to be happy.
It's a fun button.
In the hallowed hall of beloved video games.
If this game had jump storage, you would never know how kind of broken it is.
But I wouldn't give to go back.
Alright, here is where
Have it
things get
all
crazy,
over
because
again.
we go through this like secret part of the memory zone. Oh, gasp! It's Steam reviews. The horror.
Everyone knows that you can always trust Steam reviews to be the most accurate representation of a game.
So with
10 out
jump
of 10.
storage, now we're gonna do some tricky platforming here to get up on top of the roof and trigger the dialogue from the outside. This will allow Josh to cut through the game earlier than it is intended. So you'll notice that part of the level isn't loaded in because the game doesn't think you're out here yet. And now that the dialogue is done, it just pops right in. Hello.
But the game is already such a okay, let's see what this one says.
You're gonna see another variation of that here with some more jumping to get on top of this little pole here. It's amazing how much geometry is programmed in this game when you can't really interact with it that much.
This is actually quite shocking.
This is just basically just office parkour.
To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy.
Shout out to Kevin Brady reprising his role in this game almost 10 years later. Well, I guess when he recorded most of these lines, it probably would have been more like 7, 8, but shout out to Kevin Brady. Hilarious as always.
Oh, and here we go, the skip button.
I wish there was a skip button. A skip button. Well,
It's
yes.
It's this review that sends the narrator off into a wild tangent where he's gonna have a skip button.
I love the skip
that
button.
allows you to cut into to interrupt the narrator because that's something we apparently wanted. Do a little more jumping to save a little movement optimizations.
So I assume that was an actual review and not just one that was
Yeah, that's an actual
for the
review.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
of
the
them
reviews
are.
are real reviews. The usernames are fake and made up, but the reviews themselves are
Oh,
real.
also, I got rain.
Did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But
Oh.
that's the power of the button.
Yeah, sometimes when you press the skip button on certain frames, the rain won't actually go away.
Okay, welcome
We'll
back,
just
Stanley.
stick around
I should
until-
say
I have to give credit for the realism because, I mean, it rains a lot where I live in my apartment.
That last one was, well,
I think you should get that checked out.
30, 40,
Since we have quite a few skip buttons to go through, we can talk a little bit how the Stanley Parable actually like works in its. So we're not in the same room right now. Every time we press the skip button, we're basically being teleported to another section of the map, an entire copy of the room with different skip buttons.
Stanley, I think it's been a week.
It's amazing how they create that illusion.
As we click the button more and more time passes. Each time we press the button, progressively longer time passes between each press. So of course we'll be seeing the room decay more and more.
I will give a warning right now. There is one of these skip
The
buttons
next
that has a
one,
bit of a loud
this
beeping.
one has a little loud beep for like 10 seconds.
When I played this game casually, this part was very eerie to me. This game doesn't have a lot of horror. It's not throughout the entire game, but when it does, it gets very unnerving.
But they didn't understand the game was.
That is a loud
This game
beep.
knows how to
Funny,
mess
it was
with your
meant to have a
head.
point.
Yeah.
It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoan. They scream.
As a runner
they
of this
gnash.
game, you get very well acquainted with every line in this game.
Oh, I bet.
And it's still funny every time.
It's
It
150.
never gets
or
old.
it's
It gets
1250.
more funny.
The end
It gets
is
more
never the
funny
end,
the more you
is never
play
the
it.
end,
1250.
Is never the end. Is never the end. Is never the end. Is never the end.
I think
is never
Stanley
the
needs
end,
some
is never the
exercise.
end, is never
I
the
agree.
end.
With all this time passing.
He needs some exercise.
I appreciate all the fun quotes that are in this.
Yeah,
Josh, I have to ask, what got you specifically into running Ultra Deluxe?
I played it casually, and I decided to look at the speedrun, and I saw the jump storage, and I was hooked, basically. And I
Yeah, and
I
I got
also
hooked
found
on
that memory zone skip early on.
Oh yeah, yeah. Josh is quite a huge pioneer for the Stanley Parable speedruns. And I got into this. I have ran this game before as well, and I got into it because I had known Josh already from a different game that we both speedran, and he had been showing this off in like Discord VCs, and I'm like, oh my god, this is sick. How'd you get into it, Gio?
I mean, my main speed game is Portal 2, which is a Source Engine game, so sort of it's just expanded out to, oh, what other fun Source Engine game speedruns are there? And that was about the time when Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe released.
Now that I'm here, I can just do whatever I want for a minute. Which I like to do this.
Yeah, we're basically done with Memory Zone now. We just have to wait for the game to auto-teleport us out.
Music is so soothing here.
This game has like very goated OST. It has a lot of variety into it.
Yeah, the whole soundtrack's available to listen on YouTube. It is really good.
All right, we are done with Memory Zone 1. And the craziness doesn't stop there because we are just getting started into the new content.
Don't you mean the new content? Because we played the new content already. We finished it. That was the jump circle, remember?
Oh, yeah, now it's the new content.
Oh, with the neon sign and everything.
Yeah, it's a funny little fact. Once you enter the elevator, you're just waiting for a timer to teleport you, so you can just do whatever you want.
Maybe it's...
So now with the press space to jump back, and that's kind of a hint that the jump circle is back, so Josh has to actually conserve his jumps this time. What were we going to say, Joe?
I was going to say, maybe it's just me, but I don't remember being able to jump through plywood like that.
Yeah, it's a weird glitch.
You just
I
need
don't remember jumping at all.
You just need to have all your atoms pass through it, so that none get stuck.
Oh, is that all?
And then we get the biggest announcement. It's the Stanley Parable 2!
Oh, wow!
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new...
I guess I need to change the layout then.
Yeah, you gotta change it. Okay, technically...
Yeah, sorry about that. Bit of a mislabeling.
Here's the thing, because in the canon of the game, for the rest of the game, from after this map onwards, we're playing the Stanley Parable 2. We are not playing Ultra Deluxe anymore. We are playing the Stanley Parable 2.
Yeah, Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe is out of fashion now.
I figure that if I can loosely
If you want to change the layout, go ahead.
Even though Josh has to conserve some jumps, he will cut as many straight lines as he can here. There's many things to do in this map, but we don't have time for that. We have to beat this as quickly as possible, but not without getting a few things. So, if we try to climb up these stairs, the narrator is going to want to interrupt us. He'll just put like a giant brick wall right here. It's just, I'm sorry, you need to do a few things before you can move on. But we're just going to ignore him because we have jumps. We are the Rome of the range. So in that room is the ending of the Stanley Parable 2, but he's going to trigger it from the outside here. He'll quickly trigger it from the outside and jump back in, hopefully without falling. Did get it, so that's nice. Now, he has to quickly get back and grab a certain collectible in this map, because it's very important for triggering the ending later on. You'll see him climbing up there. We get collectibles in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
Loreen's.
Real video game. In the Stanley Parable,
This heavenly glow, I wonder what it could be.
these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative?
Okay.
I bet it's a ring.
True question. Are you a Stanlerine or Figley guy?
Sort of.
Yeah, once Josh gets further up, you'll notice that
You'll get those references.
It's a very tiny little figurine of Stanley, the character you're playing as. And as you collect more and more of them, the narrator can't decide what to call them. He keeps changing the name as you collect more.
There's the jump circle. 25 jumps left.
I wanted more than
Will that be enough?
That's more than enough.
We'll find out.
We'll find out.
Wait. Maybe that's it.
We have a mini Stan fan in chat.
Simply, well,
A mini
A
Stan.
mini Stan.
my new features
We forgot to even mention that.
with respect, with care for the vision,
Figla and
integrity of
Marines.
the game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could.
So Josh got
But
all the
need a
collectibles he needed out of the Stanley
tremendous
Parable 2, so now he's just
title
waiting for
screen.
time.
Title screen that says with bold and uncompromising
Oh, that's a figurine.
conviction,
That's a big
"This
figurine.
is the Stanley Parable."
Why can't we collect that?
That's a big
Right,
Stan.
yeah.
Let me see if I can whip something up.
It would be funny to be able to collect the bucket here, but we just can't do it.
Take a look.
There's not enough time and it breaks the dialogue.
It really is the
What the
So
f-
Josh
Maybe-
is going to try
What
and quickly
just happened?
get a
And then
pause
they give
in.
you a big fancy
What?
reward for it.
Oh.
Absolutely tragic.
Oh
No, I-
no. That
I've
was
never
weird.
seen that before in my life.
Okay, at least the ending
at least
still
it works.
ended. So Josh tried to pause like a frame before it was going to transition to the next part of the game to save like a tiny bit of frames. So now we are in the Stanley Parable 2. So you could just play the game as normal, or we could do other things to trigger the epilogue. Right now, Josh is re-rolling for what's called hallway RNG, and this is the biggest bane of the game.
If you
The game
noticed,
likes to... Sorry, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say, if you noticed earlier when Josh was trying to go for the ending overlap glitch, he kept restarting, and every now and then the office would change layout. So there's the small one, which thankfully Josh got relatively quickly. There's one where instead of turning right, you turn left. There are a couple other ones. There's one that is like the normal hallway, except longer, which you can't tell that you got it until you get to the longer bit. That's fun. There are a couple others, like there's one with papers drawn out about the floor. There's a couple other ones. There's a blue one, which if you played the original game, you know is the house of the whiteboard ending. It's fun, but it's RNG, which in terms of speedruns, not fun.
Your trust in someone else can be difficult.
And Josh is going to try and
I was in the middle
a
of
little bit of
something,
a
you have zero
tight jump
consideration
there.
for others.
That's a very
Are you that
scary
convinced
jump. I
that want
always
something bad to
wait a
happen
little
to
bit
you?
longer because I get very
I don't know
scared.
how to
Bigly
convince
order.
you of this,
So are
but
we doing
I
it-
really do want to help
So are we
you,
doing
to
an
show you
ending?
something.
No, we are actually going to collect more figlies.
All of his co-workers were gone.
The narrator says there's no rewards for collecting all of them. I wonder if that's true.
We're doing this for fun.
Yeah, this is just
Oh!
this isn't part of the run. This is just for fun. Oh, you got the long
Oh,
hallway.
yay!
Well, at least I
believe that
showed
loses
it
like
off.
an extra
10
8 seconds.
When Stanley
There-
came to
yeah,
a set
at least
of
we got
two
to see it.
open doors, he entered the door on his
Next
left.
reset
Yeah.
blue. Next reset blue. Blue office.
Yeah. It's funny now, but when you're trying to go for a world record or a top level run, it can make or break a run, and it
Coming to a
hurts.
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his
broom
boss's
That,
office.
that room must
My favorite
do
ending.
nothing. It's just a broom closet, right?
I'll-
miniature Stanley figurine.
Another
Surely
big
there's
glitch
nothing in
coming-
there, right?
Another big glitch coming up here is you'll notice he paused as he collected the figurine, and it looks like he's doing nothing, but he actually managed to gain control by pausing the game. So now he's doing blind movement to try and get back to the boss's office.
Stanley was once again
with another
stunned to
Stanley
discover
on her
not an
belt.
indication of any human life.
So right now he's gonna enter the keypad and then quickly leave.
All of his
There is a
coworkers were gone.
figurine
What did
in the
it mean?
boss's office, but he
Stanley
can't collect it
decided
yet
to go to
because
the
the
meeting room.
narrator
Perhaps he had
scolds
simply
you
missed
for
the memo.
rushing through the game as quickly as possible because you're not supposed to know the keypad code
And there's
yet.
another reason, but we'll get to
Stanley
that.
came to a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting
Oh yes,
room,
the
and Stanley knew it
exact
perfectly well.
order that
Perhaps he
Josh
wanted
is
to
collecting the
stop by the
figlies is
employee
actually
lounge
very
first,
important
just to
for
admire
coming
it.
up later. Even though, as I said before, the figlies do nothing.
They don't do anything.
Yeah.
But we gotta
They're
make sure that we
for fun.
They're
collect.
just collectibles. They don't do anything. There's no
It's-
reward.
It's the joy. It's
got-
the journey,
We
not
gotta
the
make sure that we
destination
collect them in a
speedrun.
specific order, though.
Incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Max-
that's-
it's the maximum
It's like
fun.
RNG manipulation or something.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I wish we had RNG manipulation in this game.
Check on his co-workers. He never functioned well.
When it
by
comes to like the
himself.
tricks that we saw a minute ago with like, you know, pausing and then you get control, how did you all find that type of glitch?
When Stanley came to a set of two
That's a
open
good
doors,
question, Josh.
He entered the door on his
Uh,
left.
I I don't know who found it, but it was probably on accident or because the first Figley automatically gives you control once you collect it.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his. You're getting
Yeah, it's
closer.
amazing.
You've nearly gotten
I
all
don't think
the
there's
figure
too
and
many
reads.
accidental
Very soon,
finds
you'll collect the
in
last
this game.
one,
It's probably
and then
that
the
one.
first number will equal the second number, and that will be it.
2.
Will be different.
So we're going to see more blind
Different in the
movement
sense
climbing
that
up
we
the
used to
stairs
have
because we need to
none
get
of
back
them.
to the boss's
No,
office to get
we
that
have them
Figley
all.
we left behind.
You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines.
Okay.
None of
I'm
us
good.
can. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley pushes
Another
some
entry to the
buttons. Oh,
keypad.
hey, look, it's a new
Oh, we don't. Oh, yeah, that's right. So now because we're in here a second time, the narrator doesn't bother trying to stall us. He just opens the door immediately. And now we have all the Figleys, and
Yay.
nothing else will
Yeah.
happen.
Don't mind that
Yeah,
press space to
that's-
jump button. It's not.
Stanley, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't
I
mind
have
it.
to put a
So we're
pause
just
on
gonna go
things.
down this
It's
hallway.
just-
What?
it's those figurines.
What is this?
Elden Ring?
I haven't stopped
It's
thinking
a-
about them
Oh, we're
since
back.
you
It's
were
a
Memory
last
Zone?
time.
What?
Wasn't it
It's
just the
another
most
ending.
intrinsically
Are you
fulfilling
saying this is now the
moment of
Stanley
your
Parable
entire
ending ring
life?
Ultra
Didn't it
Deluxe?
fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Sure.
No. Yes,
I know
still
it's
we're
supposed to
still
be
inside
telling
the
a
Stanley
story,
Parable 2,
but
though.
won't you please indulge
Okay.
me with
Yeah,
one
this is
more
all
trip
technically
back
the
to
Stanley
memory
Parable
zone?
too.
I would love nothing more.
Because
than to
if Josh
revisit
quits
the
to the menu, it'll still say Stanley
just
Parable
one
2.
more time.
I love all the pop-ins of geometry. So now we are in the Memory Zone 2. This is our... I would say it's a reward for getting all the Figleys, so to speak, but there was no reward. We're just
No.
doing this because we just want to
Back then, we had
relive
no idea
the
how
memory
many of
of
them we'd
collecting
find.
all the
Sure, it said 6 right
figurines
there on
because
the
it was
screen,
just
but how
such a
could we know
thrill.
for certain? We were so
And
innocent.
ironically, we
We'll
don't
never
need to
be like
collect
that
these
again,
ones.
Stanley.
But you can get
Here
7
was a
out of
second
6
Stanley
figurines.
You found
See,
this one all on
you
your
can get
own,
as many
just by
figurines as you
poking
want.
around by the
As you
red
want,
and blue
just out of
doors.
6.
You did that, Stanley.
And this is where the
I'll be
Figley
honest,
order is actually
back
going to
then
come
I
to
had
play.
no
Yay,
faith
7 out of
in
6.
them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise
Once
me
the
in all
narrator's
sorts of
done
mundane,
This
talking
is one of the
here.
hardest tricks in the run.
Yes, this is the hardest segment in the
Okay,
entire
let's
run.
do a little quiz.
So the
Which of
narrator
these
will give us a
rooms was
little
the room
quiz
you
of which
found your
Figley we
third
collected
mini
next.
stand? Can you
And
remember?
you'll notice that we collected the bathroom Figley as third for a reason. So we're gonna load it in and climb this curtain carefully using some jumps. This is a very complicated trick and it took a lot of strat hunting to find it.
Okay, let me just do this.
But it's basically, remember how I said that the game like stores different rooms in like different areas of the map? The game will like try to stitch them together what's with called portals. So a section
Oh,
that's
no.
like a billion miles away will actually use a portal to
That's sad.
be stitched very close together.
I still have
no.
enough jumps to try
Try
again,
again.
though.
Stanley, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I have to put a pause.
So
was
I
gonna try
only
it
wasted
again.
10 jumps on that, which means I have 13 right now.
I haven't
So
stopped
8
thinking
climbing
about
the
them since
curtain.
You nabbed every last
I'm fine.
one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically
All
fulfilling
right, so
moment of your
what Josh
entire
tried to
life?
do was
Didn't it fill you to
get
the
up on
brim
top
with
and
inner
do some
richness?
tricky portal
Yes, I know we're
manipulation.
supposed to be telling a story,
Because
but
with the
would you
pause
please indulge
glitch,
me with
you'll
one
basically
more trip
screw
back to
up the
memory
portal
zone?
to
I would love
to
nothing
try
more than
and
to
stitch
revisit
it
the
together where
figurines.
it shouldn't,
Just
and it'll
one
put
more
us in the
time.
wrong place. And you'll see why that's important later on. Once we get back there and just
Just
relive
game
through all the
FPS
figurines.
drops.
Here's where it all began. The
Classic.
first collectible. Back then, we had no
So that's
idea
built-
how
those
many of
frame
them we'd
per- those
find.
frames just
Sure, it
built
said
into the game like
6 right
that?
there on the
Yeah, that's
screen,
just
but
my
how could
game
we
being
know for
bad.
certain? We were so
Oh,
innocent.
oh.
We'll never be like
I'd
that
rather
again,
blame it on
Stanley.
the Unity engine
Fair.
instead of
And
Source.
here was a second Stan Marine.
Yeah, I'm okay
Oh,
with
yeah.
that.
All on your own. Just
A
by
weird
poking
quirk to
around
this
by
game
the
is
red
if you
and
like
blue
stand
doors.
in one
You
place for
did
too
that,
long,
Stanley.
the frame
I'll
rate
be
just
honest.
like
Back
tanks.
then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you
That is a
continue to
Unity
surprise
moment.
me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Maybe it's the game penalizing you for standing still.
It's secretly
Taking
a
too long
meta
to make
joke.
decisions.
Quiz. Which of
Yeah,
these
see?
rooms
All right, we're gonna-
was
See?
the
Yeah.
room you found your third
We're gonna
mini
try
stand?
curtain climb
Do
in
you
the Memory
remember?
Zone 2 skip again. All right, you got the curtain climb.
Oh no. Nerves, man.
Right. It was here in the boss's
All right.
bathroom.
Oh,
It was
that's...
the third
And
one.
he unfortunately
Pick it
doesn't
up,
have enough
and then
jumps to
after
try it
that,
again,
you
so we're
had
gonna
three
have
of
to
them.
go through it
I'm
all
glad
casually.
these moments are so
Memory
crystal
Zone
clear
2,
in memory.
it's a killer.
I shouldn't be
Honestly, though,
surprised. After
this
all,
is the funniest
science
part of the
tells
game.
us
Oh,
it's
yeah, we get to
impossible
see the
forget
thing.
your
Oh,
past.
This is easily the funniest part of the
it's
game,
not,
though.
Yeah, it's not a total loss.
Let's see.
It is
What can
not a
next?
total loss.
Oh, yes, we found
I'd
the
say
figure
it's
in this
better
pink
for-
room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory
Yeah,
zone.
yeah.
So it
Chat
must
remembers
have
this
happened.
pink room, right? That was a crucial part to the run.
I remember this
was
pink
the
room.
fifth
It was a good
mini
room.
stand, and this
Solid
one
room.
I like pink
I
rooms,
like this. I
personally.
really
Under
liked
the
collecting that
stairs.
fifth
I
mini
remember
stand.
it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly
here we
special
go.
to me, I made a little video to commemorate.
This is the
the
creme de la
occasion.
creme.
What are your
of the
guys'
Stanley
thoughts
Parable Ultra
on?
Deluxe.
What are your guys' thoughts on Windows Movie Maker?
And you'll notice the timer is still going. These are important moments that we cannot count out.
This is really
Oh, I just
crucial
love that
to
image
the
right there. That's
story.
great. I
This
do
is
that.
really crucial.
Thanks for watching.
So the skip that Josh was trying to do was to basically get up on top out of bounds and trick the game to
Takes you back,
stitch
doesn't
portals where
I
it
spent a lot of
shouldn't
time
be.
making that video,
So that way
but it
we
was 8
can
minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
that
Skip
way
that.
we can climb out of bounds and fall into the last Figley area, which was the boss's office. Because the way the game's map is laid out is that the boss's bathroom is very close to the boss's, is like right above the boss's office, and we could have fallen to that to skip the pink room and that glorious video. But you need a certain amount of jumps.
Who can truly say how the mind works?
I gotta give props to the narrator, because the narrator edited that. and
Also, there-
incredible editing.
There's also a
It was
variation of this trick where you can even skip the boss's office, but
Except for the other moments.
if you, when walking back through, you have a 50-50 chance of either getting dialogue that will send the story forward, or soft lock you in that room.
Caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do.
Yeah, it's and there's no way to make it work. It's just a coin float.
Goodbye, Memory Zone.
I've seen that kill some very good runs.
No, I'm
Why
not
is the
done.
timer still
I'm not
going?
ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay
Oh.
here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the
Yeah, this
memory
ga-
zone again from the
You weren't-
opposite
there's
direction.
never a
See how
safe
that
moment in the
feels?
Stanley
Okay,
Parable.
yes, the back of the boss's
When I was
always
playing,
messing with
when
you.
I was playing this game casually on release day, I was like very ready for that to be an actual loading screen. I know I shouldn't have been, but I was very ready for that to be a
I can
real
actually
loading screen. And
show
then the
something
narrator
we
started
would have
talking, I was
done
like,
on the way
"Oh."
back.
Do you remember the video we watched?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
The video.
Yeah,
I love that
Technically,
video.
this would save time, too.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stan.
Oh yeah, that
Still no memory
that
of
does
this
save like a
one.
little bit, even if you don't do the
Solid
Memory Zone
room.
2 skip.
These really were a treat.
10.
Down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for
I
finding
appreciate how the game was just like, hey, do you remember
I'm
this?
out of
Well, if you
jumps.
didn't.
intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad
Unfortunate.
we resisted the temptation.
Rip
Next one.
jumps. We don't need them anymore. Once you do the Memory Zone 2 skip, you don't need the jumps anymore.
Well, technically, once you get past the stairways, but yeah.
The past is truly a wonderful thing.
Oh,
Why
that-
does
that's
anyone-
good
this
point.
Is it. The very first one we found.
And
Now we're just going
you
backwards
can cut
through
a
the
straighter
memory
line
zone.
here, but yeah.
Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else?
Once I
is
run
there?
this past the
What
Memory
came
Zone
before
2
this?
skip, we're all that's really left to do now is just clean movement.
Look, it's the terrible new.
Hey, how many
concept
jumps do we
that
have
were
left?
Originally sold on. I remember
0
having it back
probably.
then. The
Ah,
doors would have-
unfortunate.
Yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Oh,
And before everything else, there was your
That is
office.
a classic memory of those two doors.
nice.
The doors are very weird in this game.
Is there anything else?
Doors are
They
weird
don't
in any
like to be
game.
blocked.
Came before your office?
This is true.
There's
Doors can be
something I
weird in
feel
any
I can
game.
remember. I can remember.
So that's basically it for the Figley ending.
Yes.
But that's not enough to get the requirements needed to unlock the epilogue, which is technically a part of the Stanley Parable too. I forgot to mention.
I used to make big decisions.
So once we're done with this ending, we're going to do a bit of an unorthodox method to continue the run.
We're gonna.
So
We actually need to quit the game. So while Josh is booting that up, we'll explain what's happening here. So if you remember that when we started the run, we went through that little section of adjusting a bunch of settings. And the game's going to have us do that again. So it really wants to make sure we're setting the time properly. And when we do that,
what's this?
I'm telling you, there's never a safe moment in the Stanley Parable. There's nothing that won't just randomly change on you.
And we have to keep doing this. So after all this dialogue ends, we got to quit the game again, turn it back on,
Oh no.
set more settings.
This is all important lore.
Lore.
This is actual lore. There is real canon lore for this about who this mysterious figure is. For those wondering, it is employee 432.
Not 432.
If you go through the office, his desk is kind of by Stanley's desk. It's in that first little room. There is nothing but a pencil sharpener with no pencils on the desk. And employee 432 was like considered an experiment to see how long someone can go without sharpening any pencils, if given the opportunity to, or something like that. And over time, employee 432 has just like transcended reality to become the settings guy. And there are like hints both in Ultra Deluxe and in the original 2013 Stanley Parable that show this.
I was just
As silly as this section is, Josh can't just like autopilot this. He has to actually focus on like having good mashing because it's very easy to just bleed time away. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was gonna say I just had lunch with employee 432 the other day. He seemed like a nice fellow.
Ooh.
I'm shocked.
Also, most of these options that Josh is just sliding past actually do stuff. Like when you're setting the time, if you set the time to say two of the same time or two different times, the dialogue's different. You saw that cat and dog earlier. That actually changes something on a newspaper later on. A lot of these options actually do stuff.
0, 0, 0.
All right. One more restart of the game to go through the settings guy, and then we'll be able to move on with the epilogue. An interesting little theory we have is that it might technically be faster to do this restarts before getting jump storage, because it might save like a little bit of time in the epilogue to have jump. Not enough to be worth doing this.
Yeah, that would require doing one ending and then restarting for 3 minutes
Holy
before you
smokes.
get to the
Anything
hard
else.
parts.
It's not that I want to know who comes up with these ideas. It's more along the lines of how do you execute it to where you have to like put in the code to exit X amount of times and do this so to get this type of ending. Like, how do you execute that type of stuff?
Just a lot of creativity. Some of the coding is actually as mind screwy it is. This game is, the code to actually do it is pretty simple. The game just like uses a lot of tricky teleportation to mess with your head.
We're not going to be going through the confusion ending in this run, but if you've played the confusion ending in the original or in this one, you know that teleportation is something that they mess around with a lot.
Yeah, The all endings run it's quite a nice showcase of the game, and it also does have some of its own unique strats.
Oh. Man, our ending speedruns are really great.
Oh! Yeah, we didn't talk about art. This game has one ending that takes 4 hours to beat.
You click a button to save a baby from crawling into fire. It takes 4 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And halfway in, it introduces another button that is away from the other button, so that you cannot auto-click.
If you've ever played the game Desert Bus, it's like that. Except instead of 8 hours, it's 4 hours.
Oh, man.
And Josh, I believe you've done that. How fun was that?
It was very fun. I only paused 8 times. And pausing loses like 1 or 2 frames. Technically.
Thankfully, we don't get to do art in any percent. This game has 2 versions of any percent, unrestricted and restricted.
Glitchless.
Glitchless.
Yeah.
In the glitchless category, we're not allowed to do jump storage, so it's basically just
Through it.
you're just playing through the game. But the reason I was
Just
attracted to
optimal
it,
lines.
the reason I was attracted to this game was the jump storage and all the tricky movement.
It's funny now, arguably glitchless is a more popular category than 90% just because of how glitchless is a really easy category to get into. Sure, most of the optimization comes from getting clean lines and whatnot, but some people may get turned off by things like Memory Zone 2 skip.
Yeah, that's true. It's very rewarding, though, I will say.
Cookie 9.
Cookie 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Still a
the
bad
epilogue
review.
the epilogue is basically if you remember in Memory Zone 1 where the Stanley was stranded in the desert, this is basically the aftermath of that.
So,
and everything's just kind of gone to ruins.
Yeah, because at this point, Stanley Parable 2 has released and has been out, and everyone's reviewing the Stanley Parable 2, giving it bad reviews as it ruins the integrity of the original game.
When will they learn?
So if there's a sequel to this, is it going to be the Stanley Parable 3?
You'll see.
You'll see.
Get ready to change the layout, by the way.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, time is coming.
Also, be ready with more than just a number. Because as we get to not only make Stanley Parable 3, but also make a funny little tagline. Josh, what are we hoping?
In search of no more telephone.
In search
You can actually
of no telephone.
pause. You can actually pause the game during that and still be able to click the buttons.
I forgot about that.
And that's a slight optimization.
Oh, okay, let's go.
But we just wanted to really make sure our choices matter.
Yeah.
Time is coming up soon, by the way.
And while we're at this, I'm going to pause and set the time to a very certain time.
Congrats, GDQ. You created the Stanley Parable 3.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
In search of no telephone.
And just a nice little send-off to this run. We're going to set the time
and
to 427.
Nice.
Stanley's office number. GG.
GG.
GG. So now,
We
as you
could
can
do
see,
some Stanley Parable 3 runs.
Yeah, let's go. No.
fun fact, I'm sure you couldn't read the dialogue as Josh was going past it, but every time you restart the game, you get a new game. So next time Josh restarts the game, it will be Stanley Parable 4 plus another new tagline.
And you can go as high as you want.
One of my
Goes
friends
to
has
the
two-
integer limit.
One of
I
my
will
friends
say-
has 200 something.
Yeah, with that being said, the timer did stop at 44 or 40.
That would be the real time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's real time.
Yeah, that's RTA, yeah. All right, well, for those that were watching this run and be like, man, I really want to play this game. This game looks like super fun. I want to learn the run or learn any other category about this. Where would they go to get more information about The Stanley Parable 1, 2, or 3?
You could go to the Discord from the speedrun.com page and ask questions if you need.
The link for... Actually, let me find the link. The Stanley Parable 1's link is speedrun.com/TSP. The one for Ultra Deluxe is TSPUD. And so far, we don't have one for Stanley Parable 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
and
we
I'm
need
not
to
going
get
to
those
continue this
created.
joke any longer.
Yeah, we have tons of guides and rules for how the endings work, and you feel free to ask any questions.
Yeah, and if anyone wanted to follow any one of y'all, where would they go?
All my socials are Joshua_1543.
Same, all of my socials will be under a YMYTP. I also have a Twitch where I do runs of my own.
And I'm available pretty much everywhere as GioCG or Gio_CG on Twitter.
All right. Well, any other shout outs you all would like to do?
Yeah, shout outs to Memory Zone 2 Skip.
Shout out to new content.
Crows.
Yeah, shout outs to the developers.
All right. Well, thank you all very much for showcasing not only the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, but Stanley Parable 2 and 3 No More Telephone. It was super fun. For those that are interested, we're going to take a small little break to we get things set up for our next little bit, which is going to be Toy Story 3, then Toy Story 2, then Toy Story 1. This is a great time to get up, stretch, use the restroom, hydrate, all that fun stuff. But yeah, we'll be back here in just a little bit with Toy Story 3. Stay tuned. And welcome back to the Bargain Bin. Once again, I am your host, Midnight Vesper. Before we get into the Toy Story block of this evening, I love calling it that, with just a couple announcements. Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online will be January 8th through the 15th. Head to gamesdonequick.com for more information. Game submissions are out, so if you want to, you can go ahead and see all the wonderful games we're going to see at AGDQ 2023. And don't forget, the second submission period for games released after September 1st is coming up as well. That will be November 6th through the 12th. See GamesDoneQuick.com for more details. And do not forget your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick, both with Hotfix and with Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online with the cost. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily GDQ content. And now let's go ahead and go in reverse chronological order with Toy Story 3 and Steve TV Online. How are you doing, Steve?
I'm doing fantastic. Hello, everyone.
Awesome.
My name is Steve TV Online, and I am going to be showing this game off, Toy Story 3. Now, there's no audio right now because it is playing a DMC song, and I do not want to do that to GDQ. We will get audio after this. I am joined here with Exotic Sponge.
Hey everyone, I'm Exotic Sponge here. I'm going to be commentating with Steve for Toy Story 3, the video game.
This is Story Any Percent, and this is such a every trick that's able to be done on the PC, I'm going to be playing on the Xbox, and every trick that's able to be done on the PC is going to be done here on the Xbox as well. And I'm going to be trying to show each one of them off, and Exotic is the world record holder, so he's going to be able to explain the tricks a little bit better than I am. But without further ado, the timing will not start right when we get into the game. The timing is going to start the second that we gain control of Bullseye here. So we are going to get into here, and we're going to unmute the audio, and then I will tell you when to start it. 3, 2, 1, start.
As
Alright.
Bullseye takes off. So this is Toy Story 3, the video game for the 360, which is pretty much similar to the Wii and PC version of the game, with the PC being much faster because of load times. So right here, this is the first part of the level. Right now, Steve is just traveling with Bullseye and trying to get hit because this is a auto-scroll part. But things will pick up after this, believe me.
Yeah, I could actually lift my hands off of the controller if I wanted to right now, but what I'd like to do during this is Normally, all you would have to do is move back and forth, but it's very sensitive for some reason. Bullseye is very sensitive. So what I like to do is I like to push forward and move back and forth. That way I can move back and forth a little bit, like, easier. One thing I did before this run is I went into the game and I collected 2 different things. One is the coin capsules here, and the other one is a card, which is a collectible that you would go to Al's Toy Barn afterwards and look at, like, bonus features, I believe it is.
Oh, concept arts and things like that.
Yeah, and doing that, for me, saves, like, a half a second because I forget to push the A button when I pick it up. And what I also did is I went to the toy box and I went into the toy box beforehand and I set it up so all I'll have to do after I get out of this level is mash the A button to go into the next level. Otherwise, it would keep on wanting us to go to the toy box.
So we just got to the train, and the goal here is to, in quotes, rescue the Hartridge, which is the orphanage. But that's kind of slow, so we pretty much will be skipping all of them. Except for one of them, which is this one, because we actually need him to rescue him so Bugs can actually blow up that cart up ahead. Now the fastest way of movement, as you saw there, is dashing. But be careful how you dash, because if you dash too close to stuff like the aliens or the crates down there, Roddy will actually home into it, so be kind of careful where you dash, make sure you're kind of far away from everything and aim for the correct direction. Because bonking is very bad in video games.
There we go, that was good RNG.
There you go. And we have some cows we have to rescue. Well, no, we're gonna skip those as well. Normally, if you didn't know, if you throw a cow onto that catapult, it will actually reveal a collectible which you can collect. But like you said before, we're skipping all of that.
So one could say that we're moving past the cows?
Moving right along them, or in this case, past them. And there we go, Steve with that snipe of Dr. Porkchop, who we end up saving late in this one, believe it or not.
The evil Dr. Porkchop, thank you very much.
The evil Dr. Porkchop. In Toy Box mode, he's actually a mayor, so he does change his roles quite a bit in this game. Alright, we're about to approach the boss fight here. If someone wants to guess what that is, that'd be great.
So right here, oops, that's fine. Don't worry about it. So right here, all I'm doing is, it's impossible to get hit as long as you just keep on moving forward in that section.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna do a try for swag move here. The thing with the evil Dr. Porkchop is if you get too close to him, he will shoot you to stun you, and then he will throw the bottom of his, got it. Oh, I didn't get it.
Oh,
I told you it was gonna happen.
Well, yeah.
And then I'm gonna get hit by that. That's what we didn't want to happen.
That's his nuke. He pretty much destroys everything instantly. And yes, that's actually the boss fight for this level.
That's not that big of an issue.
Get that massive snipe.
Let's try it again. Nope.
With these balls, you have to aim like kind of free-handedly, because if you just aim in the wrong direction or don't aim at all, like go towards him while you're throwing, you just hit the alien instead. So that's why it's pretty hard to actually get him.
All right. So coming into this next level is we're going to get the main trick of the entire run. Do you want to kind of explain that, Exotic?
Yeah, sure. So what Steve's going to do here is something called infinite wall jump. Pretty much, it's one of the biggest skips in the game. It breaks pretty much everything. If you wall jump off a wall and pause while in the middle of the animation right there, you can actually preserve your momentum and go towards the wall, which allows you to do another infinite wall jump. And this gets used a lot more later in the run. That's
and
just
by a lot more, we mean like half of one of the levels is just doing that.
Pretty much. We're inside Bonnie's basement, rescuing the house phone now, or the home phone as they call it. So to actually get to it, we can't even wall jump up to the phone because the toys just can't touch it, I guess. So what we have to do here, we have to use these green soldiers which somehow got tied up in rope to actually get to the phone. To the home phone.
Yes! Alright.
Notice when...
Oh, go ahead.
Let's see. I noticed when that cutscene ended, you switched on over to Jesse, and the last level you were playing as Woody. Are you able to actually switch characters between certain levels, or is it that the game just says, no, for this level you have to be, as this character, you have to be as this character?
You usually start off as Woody, and we just switch off. I think every single level you start. No, I lied. There is a couple that you start off as somebody else, but in this one you start off as Woody. I just had to change over to Jesse really quick. We would play as Woody normally, but Jesse is the only one that's able to do this move coming up right here. She's the only one that can do that.
So pretty much each character has own special ability. Jesse can stand on these middle things, those little platforms. Woody can grappling hook, and Buzz can pretty much throw other characters very far away. And you can switch characters in, I believe, 3 levels. In this level, Sunnyside and Trash Thrash. But the game kind of changes its physics / its engine in each level. So next we're going to be playing as Bugs, and he's going to has some extra abilities unlike the other levels we just played before. That's kind of how the game works.
Alright, so this is my worst level. It's the longest level in the entire game. And that's why it's my worst level, because I am... Well, it's not the longest level. I think the second longest level, I guess you would go with. But it's hard to practice because some of the tricks are later on in the level, and you have to go through this entire first section, which is just flying around and shooting asteroids.
Yeah, so similar to Bullseye, this is another R-score part. Not as long as Bullseye, I don't think, but pretty much the goal here is just not get hit. And once you do that successfully, you pretty much beat this section in the fastest time possible. So goal here, just don't get hit by anything.
So in the movie, this level is called Buzz Video Game. And if you remember, if you've ever seen the Toy Story 3 movie, this is when Rex is controlling Buzz Lightyear in the video game. So if you want to call it this, it is Video Gameception, because we are actually playing as Rex, playing as Buzz Lightyear in a Buzz Lightyear video game.
So a video game in a video game within a video game. And believe it or not, you guys might be getting flashbacks from Toy Story 2, and that is because this is actually the first scene from that movie, Toy Story 2, which have been ported to Toy Story 3.
And so don't forget we're going to use Toy Story 2 next.
Yep.
So, yep.
Yeah, I promise you this is the most boring section of this level. There's like tricks galore coming up in this next section.
Yeah, you guys won't believe what's up after this.
So, in the meantime, what was the inspiration to learn this speedrun? Is it just I want to pick it up and learn it, or is it like I saw another runner?
So for me, I learned this for the 12-hour challenge, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't know what the 12-hour challenge is, it is 2 times a year. You choose a game and you have 12 hours to learn the game, and then you do a run of it. You don't have to do all 12 hours in a row, but you can learn it in 12 hours and do it. And I just grew in love with this game. I think this is my most played speedrun.
For me, it was a early childhood game that I always played. So that's why I speedrun it. And then it'll be one of my most favorite speedruns for sure. So come up here in this section, we have asteroids raining down from the sky. And it's kind of destroying the world, as you can see, or this planet.
And where those asteroids fall are all in the same place every single time, so I wasn't even worried about like trying to figure out where something is going to fall.
And we have the big one coming up.
Now we have a blip in the sky, but it's no small blip.
As you're about to see.
That was a blip.
Yep. So pretty much everything got destroyed except for Bugs.
Except for Buzz, yep.
I always wonder if this is part of Zug's security system here, but honestly, I can't even tell.
So now we are in the asteroid area, and you're going to see something new from Buzz. He's going to have this ability to hover with his jetpack. And is this the only level he does it in too?
Yep, it is. He doesn't do any other level.
And then right now, I'm going to try and do a little tiny trick here. I don't think I'll be able to do it. I'll explain it if I get it to work.
And of course, you unlock.
Oh, I did it! I got it! I got it! I got
nice.
it!
So
Right.
what Steve just did, he just skipped the cutscene by going not too far from it, but just close enough so you can actually dash and skip being knocked back.
You have to be in like a specific area and dash at the right time in order for it to happen. All right, so right here we're going to be lighting up these rocks that are going to explode and give us more platforms, but we're going to skip the second one here, and you'll see why in just a second. We're going to go over here and we're going to slam down. We forgot to say that if there's green on it, it means you have to slam down in a particular area. So we're going to light up this one. This one is going to allow for us to continue on right here. And then we're going to go over here, and then we're going to aim in the distance at that rock out in the distance. This is going to allow for us to... The game believes that we were close enough and actually on the rock that it just teleports us over to that rock. So it just completes...
Thanks, game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now we're going to slam down here, and I'm going to try and get over to the other next section as fast as possible, because otherwise I will be on a different cycle that I'm not used to. There's a certain... Oh, you jerk.
Oh, yeah. Those are Zug's robots here. He just blasted Steve off that rock.
All right, now I have to do a little bit of improvising. I don't know the order.
Oh, no.
Next is these circly clockwise, counterwise platforms which you have to navigate through. It's definitely, I would say, the one of the hard parts of the level for sure. Especially if you're doing hundo.
And if you don't know...
The pattern.
Get over there.
I'm
not going to make this. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Oh, wow.
So, you do remember that little trick that I explained in Bonnie's house? You're about to see it again. And this one's a big one. This allows you to skip the last defensive of Zug's fortress. Instead of having to defeat all those enemies, Steve is simply just going to jump on this little thing right here, this little visible platform, a little visible wall, to get into Zug's base the secret way.
So, I used to struggle with this trick, like, hardcore. Until Sponge came into my chat one day and he's just like, why don't you just hold forward? It's a lot easier. You just, like, hold forward and do the jump that way.
Yep.
So, from then on out, it's been the easiest way to do it is just get to that second, and just hold forward and do the jump. It works every single time.
So we just walk into Zug's fortress the cool way. Now here, the big thing is just dashing. But be careful not to dash too close to any walls, or you'll instead bonk. So definitely movement is the key here.
Alright, and then we're gonna go into here. Ow.
Oh. Yep, that was a crystal. It kind of makes this like shockwave which bugs can bonk back from. Onto the catwalks, and we go on to the drills. So this drill here coming up, you have to be careful that you don't touch electricity on either side because bugs will instantly get destroyed. So you have to be kind of careful not to get too close to those. The game don't even give you another chance at it. You just instantly explode.
Yeah.
You can also skip this by doing infinite wall jumps as well, or just going onto the ledge and jumping again. But like I said, it's pretty hard.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Especially when you get late into the level. Onto the other catwalk.
Now they've added in an extra feature to it, and that's extra electricity.
Yep. And then...
I don't know why, but that looked like a toaster to me.
Oops. A little bit too far.
It's fine. So
Yeah.
that's one of Zug's other security systems here. That crushing tube. Might remember that from Toy Story 2.
I love that.
And of course, the colorful platforms. Always a classic. And
All right,
guess
I'm
what?
gonna show off the swag strut.
So this is pretty much a harder version of what we just did before, except with faster crushes and a lot of different harder things that you're about to see. And you can close your play off. There we go. Saves 2 seconds, but it's very cool to see.
Come on.
So now instead of having one crystal here, we have 2 crystals to destroy here. And of course we have a lot of things trying to shoot bugs. So the key here is just to move around, trying to avoid the jetpack projectiles. While bugs aim at the crystals.
Nice.
Yep. Now in the second part.
I do appreciate this in chat. Someone said, gotta admire Zerg's dedication to the gimmick. Even the air vents are full of Z's.
Yep, Z's everywhere. Just want you don't fall asleep during this level. So this is the harder drill section. You can skip all this by doing some crazy jumps, but but it's kind of hard to do it because you have to jump outwards and inwards, and kind of hard to explain. So let's see if we can't do this normally, because those ledges are very, very tiny.
Oh yeah.
And like I said before, if you touch any of those electricities, it's a rip.
Come on. Okay.
Okay,
we're good.
Onto another Z catwalk. And then, of course, we have the same crusher, except there are walls.
Can we call it a Zat walk?
All right, for these colored sections, they're gonna fall down. We're gonna go purple, green, blue, and yellow, and there we go.
And there you go.
Nice.
That's how you approach closer into Zug himself. But of course, before we do that, Zug had these other Zug bots which he had to destroy. You only have to worry about the robots on the ground. The ones on the wall doesn't matter for whatever reason.
And we don't know how many there's going to be. This is one of the random areas, like the RNG. You don't know if it's going to be a fast cycle of how many are going to actually spawn in at this section.
Yeah. It's pretty much a timer thing / defeat them all before the timer actually gets met. So you kind of do both at once. And it's like Steve said, the timing is a little bit random. There's not recently, but like a few months ago, there was actually recently a theory that you can actually skip all of this, but it never ended up panning out. But it was a interesting story for sure. It ended up being completely useless because Zug's laser was pretty much broken. So you're about to reach the final boss himself, which is Zug. I know, surprising, right?
Really? I thought it was gonna be Andy's neighbor.
He's the garbage guy in the third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. So here, Zug will be doing this skip called Zug skip, and pretty much if you keep the laser aimed at him, even while he goes into his hattie hold there, you can pretty much get off multiple cycles off of Zug and kill him instantly without only having to go through all 3 cycles. You only have to do 1 cycle instead of all 3.
I am really bad at that trick.
This is a hard level to practice because you pretty much have played through the entire level every time you defeat Zug, so it's pretty annoying.
Really, they are just not. There we go. That was 2 cycles though. Instead of the 3 cycles, I just did 2 cycles.
So that's half a Zug skip.
No, I still say first try, you know?
Yeah, first try, let's call it that.
Yeah.
Even if you miss first cycle, it's like free to get a second cycle if you're close enough, so.
Yeah.
Alright, this is my favorite level to show off here.
This is Sunnyside, the prison for all the toys.
So this is where it's a little bit different on the PC. On the PC version, when this game first came out, this dialogue never showed up if you played on the French. They never did dialogue for French. However, 2 years ago, they decided to patch out the game and actually put in the French dialogue on it. So now the PC just takes out the dialogue just to make it so it's even for every person that plays it.
Did you just say 2 years?
Yes, 2 years ago.
And this game came out in 2010, correct?
2010 or 12? Was it 2010 or 2012?
2010.
Yeah, 2010. Yeah, it just patched. Yeah.
Yeah. So we still updates the game on PC even after all these years later.
That's actually really impressive.
Yep. Dedication.
Yeah.
So here, the goal here is to pretty much play around with all these toys, and it will be by that I mean doing the challenges, and those will give you like credits to actually get out this level. There's three challenges which Woody has to defeat or beat. So first you have Bullseye, and the goal is to pop all the balloons. You don't have to pop all of them, but it's actually fast to do so because the other way to defeat this is to wait for the time to run out, which is slow and boring. So we pop all the balloons.
This is even harder than it looks.
Okay, I still got that though.
Those are pretty difficult jumps. Bullseye is definitely a hard horse to control when he's not being auto-piloted, auto-scrolled, so...
There we go.
127,
Okay, that's a short
not bad.
dialogue box.
Nice.
We'll take that.
That is how a cowboy jumps across a board.
Now we're going to go over the Teeny Racer one. Once again, we have another order. Like you said, we don't have to get all of them, but the faster you do it, obviously the faster the time. And there's a certain order that we're going to break all these blocks, or once you get used to a certain order, then that's the order you usually take.
Keep an eye on the timer.
In my opinion, Teeny Racer, this car is much harder to control than Bullseye. At least in my opinion.
No, I believe so too.
Yeah. So the goal here is to is to play around like that, and also to destroy all these colorful blocks, these play blocks.
Get this, thank you.
So Steve will have to go back quite a bit in order to gain acceleration to make up a lot of these ramps, which is why we do it in this order. You really need acceleration to make it up here, because if you're too slow, you pretty much lose like 20 seconds on trying to do that again.
Oh, that was good.
123, not bad.
Yep.
Not bad. Nice.
Now we're going to switch over to Jesse, and oh boy, we get to have a little bit of fun.
Yep, fun with this guy and a lot of aliens which you have to knock out.
So this is like a defend the line sort of situation, tower defense sort of situation, and normally you would have to hit 50 in order to continue on, but you can hit 47 of them in order to continue on for some strange reason. But I found out recently, I'm not sure if it's true or not, we'll find out because I'm still going to do it. If you get 50 of them, he has a shorter dialogue box.
This reminds me so much of the American Gladiators game of like the early 90s.
To be honest, I don't know that game.
It was based off of an American 90s like it was
okay.
like
So what I usually do
sorts?
here, what I usually do here is I usually let that guy on the left go. That's my first guy I'll let go through. We want to go as fast as possible with like letting people go through. So soon I'm gonna let a second person go through.
It's definitely more a timing thing. You want to let a few of them go past the line before you actually get to 47, just so it's not doesn't take as long for them to actually cross the red line. That's why he does that.
There we go. That was actually pretty good. I'll take that.
That's pretty good.
You did good. Okay, so that's the short dialogue box that I was talking about.
And then we talk to Lasso, and he gets you out here now. Much easier, much more peaceful than the other room.
Okay,
Let's put that way.
taking a deep breath here because Bonnie's house. I have 20 plus hours of practice on this level alone in this game.
Oh my gosh.
This level is very difficult to me for some strange reason. Exotic will probably be explaining most of what's going on in this while I focus.
So pretty much, and Woody went to this wedge girl and play around with her a little bit and ended up here somehow through her imagination. So our goal here is to make it to her rocket, which parked right outside his house. And to do that, instead of doing that normally, go along the wall and all of that, you're going to be taking full advantage of infinite wall jumping, similar to what I explained earlier, except you're going to be doing it a lot more. As you saw, we just get the whole entire area with just wall jumping alone. So from here, you then go do another wall jump onto the hamster cage to skip this area. And the camera does lock himself a little bit here. So you have to kind of navigate your way through this area kind of blindly. And you can see Steve's about to hit this checkpoint here to activate the platforms or make them appear before going to the hamster cage. Now this hamster cage here is very finicky because sometimes you can fall right through it or you get stuck in it. So you have to be kind of careful not to go through it or get stuck in it, as you see there.
This is the only time when I can soft lock, but if I do soft lock, it's not like the end of the world. Like I can just restart it.
Yeah,
that's why my estimate is at a 50.
So quite a level, and you can pretty much start the level again if that happens. So from here, with the camera locked, you have to now go up the basket and hopefully activate the trigger, which brings you on to Andy's rocket, which just happened to be parked outside.
Okay, we're past the hard part. I can relax now.
Yeah. So I guess the house is in space now, or either she lives in space.
Okay, so what we normally have to do is we have to get... How many batteries do we normally have to get here?
I believe four small ones and 3 big ones.
Instead, we're only going to do one of them, and then we're going to complete the level.
Because apparently this rocket only requires 1 big battery to activate, not like 8 of them like the game requires us. So this is like the biggest skip in the whole entire game. This is called rail skip. It allows you to skip having to collect all the batteries and going down the very long rails. So this easily saves like 5 minutes of this level. Definitely the biggest skip in the whole entire game. So here Woody is going to activate this rail or go on this rail, and this allows the death barrier below to get lowered in order to go out of bounds to go to the big battery room, which is way below this level. So with the death plane lowered, he can now do his out of bounds trick if he gets up there. Hopefully, there you go. So you go up the slope, go out towards the exterior of the rocket. There is a blind trick as well because the camera is kind of stuck. So he goes through the engine room and right into the big battery room, which is the last battery you actually need to power this rocket, the one and only. And that's some rail skip for you.
That trick, I joined after it became easier, but this trick apparently used to be a lot harder.
We used to use rail glitch before that, which is a pretty much if you land on a rail in a certain way, it pretty much glitches out Woody, and when he gets hit by anything, it pretty much knocks him out the rail, which allows you to actually go to this room earlier. But this is a much easier and faster way to actually do that.
Okay, this is one of my favorite levels in the entire game. It's super easy, super simple, and it's one of the only levels you actually don't have a cutscene before, which is very strange.
So here, this is another skip. What Steve just did. I call it Jessie's skip because we don't have to actually rescue her. So she's still trapped there, and we go be rescuing her a different way, an unexpected way.
And now she's freed.
There you go, she's freed, just like that. No need to worry, everyone. We all got this under control. There's Bugs here. Bugs is definitely a villain in this level because if he shines your light at you, you pretty much have to go back to the beginning. So you definitely want to avoid all the lights, especially his light, which is completely random when he shines it.
That trick I did right there is an Xbox exclusive. The PC has a barrier there that they cannot go through there.
Yeah, so a little time save on 360.
So with that being said, is it better to run it on Xbox than on PC or any other console that it was on?
I would say I play a lot of games on console, on Xbox, like I'm exclusive to it, but I would say that PC is better to run this on.
It's definitely a little bit faster. It's a different version of it. Like all the graphics are a little bit more simplified, and the toy box mode is completely different. But it was probably fast. It is faster to run this on PC, mainly because of load screens and you skip those cutscenes. Like Steve explained before, if you delete the languages file, it pretty much eliminates all dialogue in this game. So But I guess PC is the way to go.
We also forgot to mention in that Bonnie's house, you can actually do all of the you can do all of those dominoes that I jumped on blind.
Yes, before we even appear. So pretty much, it's like wearing a blindfold. You can do that without having to not only activate that cutscene, also without having to go to the bottom of the hamster cage. Saves like 15 seconds maybe, or 20.
Alright, so now we're on to one of the longer levels in the game. But has one of the coolest tricks in the, like two of the coolest tricks in the entire game in my opinion.
Speaking on PC, for some reason, the Wii version of the game was ported to PC instead of the 360 version. So the PC is actually a worse version of the game, like the incomplete version, I almost call it, just because the 360 adds so much content, like the upgrade graphics.
All right, so that was actually really solid. They actually weren't like running towards the Crusher. That they can run in so many different ways on that, and you can just like get lost in where they are. Sometimes they're just hidden behind stuff, and it's just like a mess.
On this side note, it is actually possible to skip dialogue on 360, but it's like completely random. I don't know if it's random for sure, but it's like it might as well just be random. Though, like somehow at completely random, I was able to skip like all dialogue boxes at one point with unknown means. So. And Lost being the most famous one.
Alright, there's going to be a lot going on, so I'll try and have Exotic try and explain everything that's going on here.
So after we rescue the aliens, we now have to rescue these toys which are stuck, as you can see back there, up there, got stuck in a pile of trash. So instead of working together to rescue the toys, we're going to be doing some crazy out-of-bounds movements to actually rescue them, because working together is very, very slow, and it's not that interesting. So what we're going to do here, Jesse's going to go right up to Bug's catwalk. There's an out of bounds for Jesse. Only Bug can only go up here. But you go up here in order to activate this thing early, instead of really have to shut out the electricity. So with that, we destroy our first obstacle, the flame jets, so the toys won't get roasted. And now we're on to the Crushers. Now the Crusher is normally a thing that only Bug can disable, but you know Woody, so we're going to be using him to disable that instead. And all these jumps, Steve is missing all these buttons and switches because those would normally help the other toys out working together. So instead of doing that and disabling all that stuff and watching all these cutscenes, we're going to be skipping most of that.
What was that, Woody?
Yeah, Woody's not good at ledge crabbing. So from here, we're going to be going on top of these turbines to get out of bounds with Woody, so you can go on to Bug's catwalk.
This is one of my favorite tricks in the game, by the way. Going into my worst,
I'm sorry.
my least favorite trick.
I would say this is my favorite level in the entire game. Just look at it visually.
Okay.
Yeah. So Steve
This
is trying
is. Oh, I got it. Third try.
There you
Okay,
go.
look at it.
So yeah, Steve is trying to clip up there onto her catwalk. Instead of going around it, you can just go right up there because the platform's not really solid underneath it. And with that, those two trashes allows Woody to disable the Crushers. But this is kind of a soft lock because all the characters still back where they were, so we're going to have to be resetting their possessions. And how do we do that, Steve?
Does everybody like art? Do you like art, Vesper?
Yeah, I kind of like art, yeah.
Oh, you like art?
art.
Oh, okay. I love art. So what we're going to do, we're going to follow the bounds, and then we're going to do a little bit of art. I hope everybody likes art.
Oh.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah, undertated
Yeah.
artwork. Look beautiful.
If you don't like your artwork, you can kind of look up, and then you can reset it.
Yep. And the reason why we had to go out this far is to get all the characters into third position, because right now the characters are still stuck in their positions, but now going to Emergent Death Barrel allows everyone to be at the right positions to disable the Crusher or the Shredder.
Such good artwork.
Yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite trick in the entire game. I love that trick so much. All right. This is the short one. Okay.
By the way, that's a 360 exclusive.
What was that?
That's a 360 exclusive.
Oh yeah. The art is exclusive.
Yeah. Totally make worth running on 360 worth it. So this is the only part of the level where we actually become bugs to disable the shredder. We pretty much skip him for the entire level.
We're gonna go up this way.
All three toys will be working together to open that doors, and bugs will be throwing that trash pile into
Woody,
the shredder.
please, Woody, grab on. Please grab on, Woody.
You got this, Woody.
He will grab down.
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, Woody do not like grab onto those things most times. Alright, the door's going to open with Buddy. Jessie's going to open her trap door, and then Bugs is going to deal the final blow.
That was really good, Junkyard.
Yep.
GG.
And there you go,
Right,
the toys are saved.
And now we are going on to the final level of the game, and that is Haunted Bakery.
Do anyone want to guess the final level for this game is?
Andy's room.
We'll see.
So you can zoom in here and shoot the muffins if you want to, or you can just shoot it like crazy, and it's like 10 times faster just to do it this way.
Oh, by the way, I meant the final boss, not the final level. Whoops. So here, Seiko will be showing some muffins, and yes, you had to fight against muffins in this game because we're back in Body's imagination. So the goal here is to pretty much destroy all the bomb muffins as fast as possible.
I didn't get a big muffin.
That's really good RNG there. Big muffin sucks, and we'll be able to skip it. Because we take extra hits to destroy.
All right, so now we are going to go after. That was only the first phase. There's like 5 in this final fight.
5 phases. So there's the pork chop again with his red top hat.
Oops, wrong way, Steve.
And they dream up a space launcher or a space cannon, whatever it's called. So pretty much, you had to do here is pretty much destroy all those tiny witches in order to deal damage to the big boss guy.
Oh, that was good. That was really fast.
That's pretty good. Aiming for those small witches is harder than you think. Because we go all around the place. Sometimes we don't hit at all. Sometimes they teleport, and sometimes you hit them and they just do nothing. So definitely a hard section.
So now that we're done with that, we have to pick up some ammo, but it's not regular ammo that you would think of. It's a cannon launcher, but not actually a cannon launcher. No. To make it even better, it's a cow launcher.
But shoots cows.
Can you please get out of my way? Thank you.
Because cows are super heavy and we can take out big witches with lasers.
Man, I'm missing her.
I'm trying to think of extra cow puns. We had a couple ones in chat, but
So what you can do with the big witch is actually instantly destroy her and take away a whole phase from her without having to go into a cow launcher many times. Saves quite a bit of time. It's just hard to do because I aim at the quick position on the big witch.
Why was there a random keyboard just in this area?
Huh? What random keyboard? I honestly don't even know.
I didn't even notice it. Oh, I don't. He means it from the bar down there next to the prison.
Okay, yeah. This takes place inside of the extra area called the toy. I can't even see. Okay, the toy box, and that is the parlor, I believe.
Honestly, I don't even remember what it is. I just call it a bar.
Perfect. Oh gosh, get out of my way.
Yeah, all these buildings here are all toy box buildings. We can see the bank there. We can see the tailor shop, I think, on the right, and of course the post office. And on 360 version, you can actually destroy these buildings, which gives you collectibles.
Okay, I got this one.
There you go.
Almost.
Oh, that's almost the instant kill right there.
Did it just bounce off of her body?
Yeah, her body is pretty funny, to say the least. All right, so Steve had to collect 400 ammo in order for the next stuff to spawn. And we're about to approach time here, and the final boss in this case is the giant witch with red laser eyes.
Yeah, once her health completely goes away, that will be time.
Yep,
I will
time.
call it out, because I will also get very excited.
Yep. So get ready on time. So right now, Steve is just destroying some of the small witches just so they won't block the cow's path to her. Because we love to do that, especially the green projectiles always block the cows from hitting her. So you're about to get ready on time here once Steve does his insta-kill on this witch.
No insta-kill.
It's hard to hit up far away though, to be honest though. A little bit
This
lower.
should be the last hit.
3 more hits, I think. 2 more hits.
Time.
There we go, time.
Nice. GG.
All right, and that was Toy Story 3. That was also a PB on my end.
Yeah.
Nice. Congrats, man.
Oh, congrats. wait, what was the final time?
My final time I got is 41:30.
Wow. GG's.
Yeah, that's what I got too. Yeah, 41:30. Waiting for it.
All right.
And
that was Toy Story 3 done as quickly as I could possibly do it. Other people could do it faster, but I want to give a shout out to the Toy Story 3 community. Capri Dog. I never remember how to say their name, but
Capri Dog
is like the master at this game. World record holder on PC. Just recently, this year, just got a new world record in it. Didn't think it could be done, but just got a new one. Shout out to Exotic, who has world record on the Xbox right now.
Which is me.
And everybody in the community. If you're interested in running this game, you can contact anybody in the community. We'll help you out with all the tricks. I was able to learn this in 12 hours for the 12-hour challenge. I think anybody can learn this super quickly, even if you don't know all the tricks right away. Like I said, I took 20 plus hours to master Bonnie's house finally. But yeah, that's it for me. If you have anything, Sponge, go for it.
Not much. If you want to join the Toy Story 3 community, that would be very grateful, helpful. And we, of course, have a lot of helpers who can help out if you want to get into speedrunning or into Toy Story 3. Very fun game. Very successful for everyone because of the PC version.
Yeah.
Yeah, and each one of them. There's a Wii. There's I think a DS. Is there a DS version of this?
There's a DS version. DS is completely different though.
So if you're into any other forms of it, there's multiple different ways to play this game. It's different in each one as well.
Yeah, and finally, if anyone wanted to follow y'all, where would they go?
I am Steve TV Online on literally everything. Well, Steve TV for YouTube, Steve TV Online for Twitch, and any other social is Steve TV Online.
And it's my username, ExarchSponge, for my Twitch user.
All right. Well, thank you both so very much for showcasing that amazing Toy Story run. Don't forget, we got Toy Story 2 coming up here in just a second. But we're gonna take a small break to get all that set up. Don't forget that on October 31st, we have a Halloween Spooktacular hosted by Igdices and Smooth Operative. And if you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, use ! links in chat for all things GDQ. Once again, we're going to take a small break to get things set up for the next run. Great opportunity to get up, stretch, use the restroom, everything else along those lines. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the Bargain Bin, a show about speedrunning games all under $20. I'm your host, Midnight Vesper. Just loving that song that was just playing right now. Just a couple of announcements before we get to Toy Story 2. Do not forget that Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online will be January 8th through the 15th. Head to GamesDoneQuick.com for more information. Games list for the first submission periods came out over the weekend, so you can go ahead and check that out. The second submission period for games released after September 1st will be coming out as well, November 16th through the 12th. Visit GamesDoneQuick.com for more details. And of course, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick, both with Hotfix and with Awesome Games Done Quick 2023 cost. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily GDQ content. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hello YouTube. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you're interested in looking at our live content starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. Well, we had a fantastic PB of Toy Story 3 previously. Let's keep that going and see if we can snag another PB right here with Toy Story 2 and Electric Man 17. How are you doing today, Electric Man?
Oh, I am doing very great. I'm a little bit nervous at first, but PB is actually getting more and more impossible with this version of the game. I'm just honestly, yeah, I do currently have world record in this version of the game with a sub 40, in fact, which was really impressive. I'm the first one to do it. And on PSTV, which has the fastest loads in the entire game. Oh, wait, I'm getting too ahead of myself. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Electric Man. I like speedrunning Toy Story 2, this game, and I'll be showcasing this game for the very first time in history. This game is finally in a GDQ channel. Though it's hotfix, we could still allow that, but I am gonna need a friend in me to help with this. So for commentary, I brought over Thermal Scare to get over.
Oh, hey, that's me. What's up, guys? I'm here for commentary, and I'm pretty excited to help my boy Electric Man out here.
Yeah, this game is such a legend. This game is like similar to Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, even Kirby, The Forgotten Land, Super Mario Odyssey, you name it. Let's just get into Andy says. Timer doesn't start yet, but the timer will start as soon as I gain control of Buzz. So so we're gonna do a 3, 2, 1, 0, go, and on go we start timer. All right. So I just need to take a deep breath because this is a pretty tough category.
You got this, my dude.
Thanks for having me. All right, ready? So here we go. 3, 2, 1, 0, go.
All right, so I guess I can explain a little bit about what any percent really entails for this game. So basically the main collectible in this game is Pizza Planet tokens, and there's 5 per level, and there's 10 levels altogether, 10 platforming levels with 5 boss levels. And to complete this game, we need to collect 40 of them. This is actually very different from the N64 version, which for some reason we only need to collect 30. Maybe because the N64 is more for children, we're not sure. We try to figure that out from John Burton, but he's not very helpful with that. But this first boss here, pretty simple boss. Electric Man is going to charge up his laser to the fully charged yellow laser shot, which in total accounts for 4 red laser shots. Just 3 of those yellow laser shots, the boss is just done. And we'll collect the first Pizza Planet token. This first level is pretty dang optimized, like most first levels in any speedrun. It's the one level where people will just reset.
Okay, I'm taking 1-0 off because I need to listen to the game. Because I need to listen to the game because I really don't have any sound. Because the ears are noise canceling. Yeah, I need sound in order to play this game. So I'm taking 1 earbud off. 1 earbud is going off.
Fair enough. Yeah, next, Electric Man will make it into Andy's garage, which there is a pretty cool skip here when it comes to the race token, which I guess I should explain it. So I said there's 5 tokens per level. There's a race token, a boss token, a collectible token, a coin token, and a hidden puzzle token. So this is the race token, obviously, because we're racing RC. And Electric Man, you can see he's doing these circles around the start line. Basically what's happening is the crack on the floor between the van and the wall is the checkpoint, and it only checks that you come from behind that line. So as long as we get on top of the van and come from behind that line, it counts it as a lap. Looks like Electric Man got the stair clip fairly quickly. This is an alternate method to getting to the puzzle token. Normally, there's these big boxes you have to push around to get to the puzzle token, which takes roughly like a minute to complete that puzzle. So doing this stair clip or another method, box jump, saves all that time having to do that puzzle. So now he's going to be making his way into the kitchen where we do spoon jump. Spoon jump is going to be taking advantage of some shadow boxes, which are like extra polygons that stick out from geometry that really you're not intended to jump off of, but we can anyways because 90s video games, we love them. And we do this quite often throughout the run to do a lot of the skips that you'll see throughout the run, which spoon jump was the very first. Electric Man did also collect 5 sheep in Andy's house, which was for the collectible token, and Ham requires 50 of the gold coins that are hidden throughout the level to get the coin token, and that's for every single level.
I love the artwork that is in there in the sense, like per level, the art per level.
Oh yeah, the art is pretty good.
Definitely very good. They also got nice little like, what do you call them? FMVs between levels that you can watch in like 160p. It's quite amazing.
Yeah, but we're not gonna show them off unless you want me to show off the last one, which is one of my favorites.
You can show off the last ones since the run will be over. So yeah, Andy's house, level number 2.
Neighborhood.
What did I say? Did
you said house.
Oh my gosh, I'm already behind. Neighborhood, that's what I definitely meant. We're gonna be collecting
5 tokens.
All 5 tokens. Sorry, I'm used to the PC version here, which we do 4 first, and then we come back to the level. We'll be doing all 5 of the tokens here. Normally with this race, you would need the rocket shoes to beat, but as long as Electric Man like stays in front of the RC car, the RC car will actually bump into Buzz Lightyear and like recoil a little bit and have to recover. So as long as he stays in front, he can't lose the race, which is
and I am cutting around I am cutting around the grass, which is what you need to do, because for some reason the programmers just made sure that if you go around the tree and the cone, it counts as a full lap.
Yep, triggers behind the tree and the cone. They don't. Basically, the other things don't matter. He's also going to be doing a dizzy strat here, which when you do a dizzy strat during a cutscene, you're actually able to move during the cutscene, and normally Buzz would actually stand still. So it just allows Electric Man to get to that token about a second earlier than what would normally be the case for getting the token. Entering the pool area, we're going to be collecting the hidden puzzle token. Normally, you would have to inflate the inflatable raft duck, but we're actually going to be collecting one of the collectibles here, and then actually just swinging from this flagpole over to the token and easily grabbing it. So it just skips having to do a whole nother puzzle. And we're going to be making our way to probably one of the biggest run killers of the run, the dreaded tree. This actually requires a lot of like, not precise movement, but just very, don't really know the wording, but it's just, if you fall out of the tree, essentially, it's pretty much game over and you have to start climbing all the way back up. There is a nice little rope that you can grab onto. That's like a little shortcut in case you do fall off. But normally during a run,
I need that coin. I needed that coin.
Oh,
because
no.
Because I'm actually getting like doing a faster like pull. I really needed that coin, man.
Oh.
Yeah, so this is the
because I
little
was a
shortcut
little
I was talking
undercoined.
about.
Jeez, what's happening?
Got stuck underneath that platform.
Yeah, I stuck underneath that tree bench.
I guess
Normally
I can explain
never
this.
had this problem.
You can see Electric Man is like jumping off of the rope and circling back around. We call those obviously circle jumps, and it actually allows
There we
us to
go,
climb
finally.
up different like climbable objects such as that rope faster than Buzz would normally
See, this was
do.
what I was doing.
Oh, I see what you were doing. I see. And then this boss, another cheese in this game. If you stand a little bit outside the boss area, the game doesn't really know what to do. So the boss just kind of freaks out, and we're able to actually just mow the boss down. Normally that boss, when you shoot it, it gets a bunch of invincibility frames and spins at Buzz. But for some reason, like I said, the game just doesn't know what to do.
No panty jump. Jeez.
And you're just able to mow down the boss. Electric Man, I do have to say I'm very proud of you for going for that. Even though it is a very small time
I've been
save.
going for it a lot, but I won't leave you dissatisfied. Boom.
Yeah, there we go. It's the one jump that everyone hates that I go for, but I kind of pressure everyone else to do it because it's fun. And then we're going to be making our way back to the first area where Electric Man was ground pounding those mole holes, because the last collectible is here, and where we have to return the collectibles is back in this area as well. It just kind of ends up nicely that we end up back in this area. Quick little side thing. Electric Man did go to the pause menu and click exit level. Normally when you exit the level after collecting a token, Buzz will do a to infinity and beyond animation and blast off into the sky. But going into the pause menu and scrolling down to exit level and clicking yes allows us to just skip that whole thing entirely.
What?
Bombs away. This can actually be a really tricky boss to get a quick kill on. Because it just, when it flies in that circle, you have to try to aim at it, and it can be just, if you don't really understand the controls that well, it can be quite difficult at first.
I like when you go into first person mode, you see the reflection of Buzz's face.
Yeah, of course. It sometimes scares everybody, but I don't mind.
It's a nice potato face, is what we like to call it. It's not. It's kind of creepy, to be honest. Construction yard. Thankfully, this level isn't too bad on any percent. There's just 2 tokens we grab. This race token, we got to collect 5 wrenches for Slinky. What he wants them for, we're not quite sure. Maybe he's gonna help build this building, but that's the race token. Then we got to do the puzzle token, which Electric Man will be making his way over to this cabin. And he will be mixing some paints in different colors. It's green, orange, and purple. It's kind of one of those times where you can actually kind of calm down during the run and be like, all right, there's not really much that I can lose here.
Except when you're trying to get that filing cabinet.
Let's just push the paint bucket underneath the different colors. We're going back to art class. Hopefully we know our colors.
What's your favorite color, guys, chat? What is your favorite color? I like to know.
I personally gotta say green is my favorite color.
I like violet.
I gotta go purple, personally.
Oh, I'm a purple fan myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I love the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh, Vikings. Sadly, I'm a Detroit Lions fan, but, live and love.
I mean, I'm a Jets fan, so.
Man, you guys are actually having a great year this year. I'm jealous.
For once.
True. Dude, we got pink, orange, gold, purple. Got a couple purples. Let's go.
That's nice.
All right. After construction yard is One of the levels that I think has one of the best soundtracks to it, Alleys and Gullies. I love the soundtrack.
Yeah,
of this
it is one of my favorites too. But not my favorite. My personal favorite. That honor belongs to a level that we'll see sooner or later.
Yeah. This is actually one of the levels we'll be coming back to later. Once we've unlocked one of the unlockables in the game, called the grappling hook. Because a lot of the level actually unlocks after you get the grappling hook, and it is achievable without it, but it does require kind of a rough, almost frame perfect jump. It's not the easiest thing in the world,
which is not possible on this version.
Yeah, speaking of the unlockables, there's 5 of them throughout the game. There's the Cosmic Shield, Hover Boots, Rocket Boots, Discs, and the Cosmic Bubble, which we all know the Cosmic Bubble is the most useful because we never use it during any runs.
Now it's time for match time.
Yeah, this is my personal favorite boss, Slime Time. It's just a mash fest. So if you're good at mashing, this is kind of the level for you. It's just 5 cycles of seeing how fast you can push that fire button.
Looks like Slimer.
And we all do remember this character from the movie, right? Because I definitely don't.
I distinctly remember that creature. Like I said, it looked like Slimer. Slimer was in Toy Story 2.
I like to usually say this game is very loosely based off the movie. This level actually has one of the newest tricks in the game called text storage. So every time you collect one of the Pizza Planet tokens, you'll be prompted to either keep playing or exit level. But shoutouts to Spaghetti from the Toy 2 community. He actually found a consistent way to get the text storage, which is essentially we store that text bubble until we talk to one of the NPCs, and it'll allow us to actually move during Buzz's To Infinity and Beyond animation, which will allow us to get the puzzle token coming up in Al's office, which you would normally need the disc unlockable from the construction yard level, which we didn't unlock. So without this glitch, it actually is impossible to get the puzzle token without the discs.
To infinity and beyond.
Oh no. Oh, I don't know if I got it.
Get it? He got it. He got it. Let's go. There you go. That's the trick right there.
I honestly thought I was not gonna get it.
That was
because
very
I had
close.
that
I was
happen to
actually
me
really
one
nervous.
time. One time.
Nice.
It happened to me
Well
one
played.
time.
Well played.
I jumped way too high and somehow I managed to still get it. Like,
Well played.
wow.
Well played. All right. So after that fun right there, that's one of the coolest glitches we have in the game. So this claw machine is actually complete RNG, where the token spawns in different locations within the claw machine. And depending on where it is and where the claw starts, can vary. You can actually lose quite a bit of time if the claw doesn't cooperate.
Wow. What? I thought that was not going to grab.
Personally, this is my least favorite level, only because it's one of the most simple levels, and for some reason I struggle with the simple things.
That floor tile takes me back, and now I want to redo my entire streaming room floor with that tile.
Brings you back to the 90s and the roller rinks.
Yes. I'm sure my landlord would not appreciate if I did that, but I'm thinking about doing it anyways.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, we're onto the race token now. Basically, you shouldn't ever really fail this race. As long as you jump during the red sections on the rope and double jump, you're gonna make it to the next rope. Unfortunately, sometimes if you try to cut a corner too sharp or you miss the rope, you have to do a walk of shame all the way back and start the race all over. Or if you hit the very edge of that finish line platform, the race actually cancels. I've had that happen plenty of times, and it's the worst feeling in the world.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it happened to me once. So thankfully,
thankfully it didn't happen, and we get to move on to the doppelganger buzz, which
that is an interesting name. I usually like to call him imposter buzz.
that's true. That's also a good name for it. But
yeah,
one thing go ahead.
If it's a doppelganger buzz, could it be called Zub?
Ooh.
Buzz backwards. Oh my gosh, that is genius, bro. That's genius.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so mini bosses in this game, most of them are going to be relatively easy, as you can see. Electric Man has the green laser upgrade, which is equivalent to the yellow laser, but you can actually just hold it down and it just fires green lasers continuously until the meter goes all the way down. We take advantage of that during a few of the mini bosses, and they're actually quite easy, and Traveler's Tales wasn't the greatest at making bosses back in the day.
Okay.
Their Lego games are great,
fun question for chat. These little green aliens are known as LGMs. You want to know why? They're an acronym. For what? You want to know?
I'd love to know. I'm sure chat would love to know. But I'll let you answer.
All right. They're called Little Green Men.
Oh.
All right, so going back to the Dizzy strat that I talked about in Andy's neighborhood, Electric Man is going to be taking full advantage of that.
Why? It boxes.
So as you can see, once Buzz gets done with the Dizzy spin, he gets all like a Dizzy animation, and then the cutscene will play. Normally, when you hit this boss, Buzz will stand perfectly still, but with this Dizzy strat, we can actually move during these cutscenes and kill the enemies coming out of the pods quicker and get to the next phase of the boss fight. It's just some cool little speed tech that you wouldn't really think about, and just makes this boss a little faster.
By the way, I'm only using spins for like the last few because they're just basically the spin does like, I don't know, like half the damage of the charged laser.
Yeah, it does the same amount of damage as a normal red laser shot, and then just mashing them down with a couple yellow lasers, and then moving on to everyone's least favorite level, Elevator Hop.
Yep, I call this an RG nightmare.
Yeah, the biggest difference with this level as opposed to a lot of the other levels we've been to, this one is very vertical. We just go up, up, and up some more. Basically, Buzz is trying to get up to Al's penthouse to save Woody, which is the objective of the game. The biggest thing is, there is a little bit of RNG involved with the elevator platforms. They don't always move in a similar fashion every time, and we're not quite sure why. And they also move differently based on the console as well, depending on if it's N64, PlayStation, PC, or the Dreamcast. So we're still trying to work on that. Also, the rats that Electric Man is collecting can be some of the worst things in this game. They move sporadically and can just like dodge out of the way of Buzz very easily and just ruin your day. Two of them in particular, the ceiling mouse, which is going to be coming up next, and then the wall mouse, which is probably the most dreaded one, because if you miss it, it's a 15-second time loss each time you miss it. So getting it first try is rather important. Open the little shortcut here because we're going to need that later. There's the wall mouse. Also, this puzzle is the same every time. It'll be the third and second button. Nice. And Electric Man is going to make his way. Here's the wall mouse. Very nice. So those are the two that can really just ruin your run.
Oh, no, go on.
Yeah, those are, especially the wall mouse, can really just ruin your run. Because the one on the wall, I swear it has a mind of its own. Is like, hey, Buzz is getting close. I'm going to juke to the left and just ruin your day. And then you just lose 15 seconds because of that.
The placebo effect. Yeah, what I did was I looked away, and somehow it made it like the elevator cycle the same. It is the placebo effect, though.
Yeah, we really don't have any way to manipulate the cycles. We like to think we do just to make ourselves feel better. But every time we feel like we're onto something, it just breaks our heart eventually. Again, mini boss, green laser. There's really not much that... there's more involved with the boss if we didn't have the green laser, but that's just slow and we don't have time for that.
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
Nothing. Perfect.
All right. You're going for the tech storage here, yeah?
No, because I don't think it's consistent with PlayStation.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll just explain it real quick. Buzz, when you jump off of a slope like this with Buzz, if you jump onto flat ground, he actually continues momentum in a specific direction. We use this in like the PC version or the N64 version to basically get a little text storage. So basically Buzz will grab the token and keep moving backwards a little bit, and then he'll eventually be allowed to move freely and keep the text box stored, and then we can use it to skip the upcoming cutscene from when the token spawns in from the collectible token here. Fun fact, the N64 version actually has a second one that's involved, and it's N64 exclusive. Shout outs to the N64 version. And then making our way, not downtown, but to Ham to return the 50 coins. Oh,
we got
that
ourselves
elevator hop
our
actually
ticket.
looked well. Looked like it went pretty
So
good.
We're making our way to Hamtown?
Ooh.
No, we're making our way back
yes.
to Alley to Goalies.
Oh, the jokes are real. I love it.
But I know you're saying that you have all the differences like this one, the Dreamcast, the N64. For those that maybe will be interested, is it a good idea to say like, oh no, go with the PlayStation version or go with the Dreamcast?
I'd say PC is the most popular place to play, with N64 emulator being the second best.
Yeah, I think either the PC version, which is pretty accessible, and N64. The reason I might say N64 more is because it is a shorter run, because it only requires us to collect 30 Pizza Planet tokens instead of the 40 that are required for the other three versions of the game. But it's really all based on, I guess, preference. We have a lot of people who say PC is the better version to use, or N64 or PlayStation, so might be whatever's most accessible.
What about Atari?
There's no Atari version.
I wish there was an Atari version, but sadly there's not.
Not yet.
Ooh. I will say probably best to avoid the Dreamcast version, because load times are roughly 30 seconds per level, which is kind of boring to have to sit on the PowerPoint screen for 30 seconds, but don't even think we have any runs of the Dreamcast version currently.
There is, but they're not on the board.
Fair.
I'm glad you skipped attacking the duck earlier.
Well, he's an NPC.
We do need... Oh, wait, no, we don't go talk to the duck because... Yeah, we don't... Yeah.
This is not 100%.
You're right. 100%. Shoutouts to 100%. My favorite category.
I was going to say you don't talk to the duck because he's probably quackers.
Just like Donald Duck.
He's going quackers. Oh, man. So, yeah, that was Alleys and Gullies, part 2. And then we're going on to, which I think might be a lot of people's favorite level based solely on the soundtrack of this level. It is impossible to go to this level and not whistle the theme when you're not doing the race. Every time I go to this level, I whistle the theme when it pops up. I'm like, I can't not. It's too good not to. So yeah, this level we're only going to be collecting 3 of the tokens. This very easy race token here. Just collect.
Let's get a bullseye jump
for
here.
For some reason, Bullseye needs 5 horseshoes. I guess 4 and a spare. Unless he's got a 5th foot somewhere that we're unaware of. Again, taking advantage of shadow boxes here. Normally, when you jump off the front of the train like that, you'll hit it and you'll start sliding backwards because it's not a slope you're actually supposed to jump off of. But because of shadow boxes and jump buffers, we're actually able to jump off of extra surface that Buzz hits and jump up and skip the whole puzzle for that level. Now, everyone's favorite jump, window jump, or RNG jump. This game is notorious for terrible ledge grabbing, and that table can be one of the hardest things in the game to ledge grab. So yeah, jumping off that windowsill onto that table can just be a nightmare. That's Al's penthouse. Sadly, we don't spend enough time there, but
it's because we have to go to work on a Saturday.
I can't believe I have to drive all the way to work on a Saturday.
All the way to work. Yo, yes, all the way to work on a Saturday. Anyways, here's
Jump
Zurg.
the curb. Yes, Zurg. We remember him from Toy Story 3. Except this time we're not going to be shooting lasers because lasers don't do anything to Zurg. Zurg is one of the few bosses that only is affected by spin attacks. So we have to just chase Zurg down. Spin attack. Fun fact though, he does take disc damage, but you don't get discs in this level, so unfortunately it's not quite movie accurate, but we'll take it.
Maybe it's just my ears, but I heard that as dis damage. And I'm like, oh,
damage. Okay, I got to concentrate.
Yeah, we're just gonna get into an epic rap battle with Zurg real quick and just start a diss track. I just about said elevator hop. Airport infiltration. This first strategy, we like to call it YOLO trick, but some in the community are trying to get it changed to race or puzzle during race strat because YOLO is kind of outdated. But basically what's going to happen is Electric Man is starting the race.
Okay, the YOLO's not possible. YOLO's not possible. Darn it.
Yeah,
I really wanted to go for it.
Yeah, basically what would happen is during the race, you would go all the way up this rocket ship here and then get the puzzle token that's on top, get all the way back down to this dude here. I still don't remember his name, but it's not important. Rocky Balboa. And you usually have like roughly 1, maybe 2 seconds, depending on how fast you go, left before the timer runs out. It's a very tight strat and is not really recommended for beginners at all. But now we can make our way up the rocket ship, possibly the one we saw in Toy Story 3. We're not sure. It actually looks more like an airplane.
Yeah, it's
Probably
still
because
called
it
the
is an
broken airplane.
Normally with
officially
this,
called
we
the
actually
broken
need the hover shoes to get up there, but because of platforming and level design issues, we're able to just not. But we do need those bouncy boots to get up to Stinky Pete, which is actually the main protagonist of the game, and it's not actually Zurg. Surprise,
Antagonist.
surprise. Antagonist, you are absolutely correct. Buzz is the main protagonist of the game. Get my words mixed up over here. So yeah, basically just take the hover shoes. It's all right. Can make our way back up there. And then Stinky Pete is also another one of the bosses that only requires can only be damaged by spin attacks. So just kind of juke his attacks, wait for the iframes to go away. Electric Man is doing something you might not really be able to tell, but he's doing infinite spins. So basically, when you hit the spin attack and the laser button, they cancel each other out, and you can kind of just infinitely spin attack without having to keep, waiting for the whole spin animation to complete. Making our way back to Al's Toy Barn Part 2. Collecting up a couple of the last few Pizza Planet tokens here. We're going to be doing race, collectible, and coin token. Trying to remember.
In that order.
It's been a while since I've done any percent. But the only reason, well, I should be careful with my wording, but with this route specifically, the only reason we needed to come back was because we needed the hover shoes to get that one baby chicken in that room specifically. There is a trick that requires jumping off a very small shadow box that's very hard to get. Not many people go for it because it just sucks. But yeah, that one collectible is the only reason we have to actually return to the level with the hover shoes. And we actually get to unlock the rocket shoes, which we talked about earlier in Andy's neighborhood. And I am so proud of you for going for this strat here.
Yeah, I always go for this strat, but I fail every time. But
this was another one I had to pressure people into.
Oh my gosh, those shoes.
Yeah, so basically what you can do is you can use the rocket shoes, circle up there, grab that collectible, and then jump back down to Potato Head, and then get the rocket shoes and then jump into that vent again. Yeah, the rocket shoes are going to be most valuable in Tarmac Trouble, as you will see once we get there. It is a very wide open level.
I play constantly on the skateboard.
It does help.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, we can't kickflip like Tony Hawk, but
yet. Although in Buzz's defense, that would be a really, really hard thing to do, considering the size of the skateboard versus the size of Buzz.
True, but there actually is a. Is it a Toy Story skateboarding game or a Disney skateboard? It's one of the two.
Yeah, it's a Disney skateboarding game.
Disney skateboarding game. So technically, there is a game where Buzz can do a kickflip. Another fun fact about this level is this is I think one of the only levels that doesn't end on a coin or collectible token. It ends on the race token, surprisingly. Right, on to Tarmac Trouble. You'll see what I mean by very wide open and why we need the rocket shoes. Very flat, very wide open, very big. And he's going for what we are. Are you going for ring rush? Yes.
Yeah, I'm going for ring rush. Obviously.
Okay, good. Let's go. Ring rush
go.
here. Basically, what's gonna happen? Rocket shoes jump off this thing.
Oh, come on! I had it there. And I was on world record pace too.
That was very close.
Oh, what? You've got to be kidding me! 2 in a row. Jeez.
You got this. You got this. This is it.
All right,
here.
third
There you
time's the
go.
charm.
There's
Oh
the
my gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
You
So
have got to
that-
be kidding me.
That trick is actually very, very difficult. The rocket shoes actually are very hard to control, especially while in the air. Buzz takes very wide turns. But Electric Man is going to be setting up for the second and maybe most important tech storage here. Okay, got it. This one we're actually going to be, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this middle area. And normally when you talk to Slinky here, there's a race that you have to do. And you have to follow the track all the way around, the very winding track as you can see. You can't touch any of the green and you can't jump. But with this tech storage, we can just run to the end, prompt the game to keep playing, and cancel Slinky's dialogue to start the race, and we're already at the end of the race.
Wow.
That was a trick that we had been looking for so long, and it was right underneath our nose the whole time.
Oh, yeah. Those are always the best.
That puzzle is also RNG. We do have a guide where we have all the solutions for it. And we do have someone who does explain how the puzzle works, because I never knew how it worked. I just kind of pushed all the buttons till it worked when I was a kid. Like, it'll work eventually.
The face of Pete on that, just angry. Just such disdain.
So this boss is very disappointing. It's just this. You just spin attack into them continuously. If Electric Man were to turn around, you would see a whole huge open area behind him. All of that area. I swear there had to be more that they were going to do, but they just said, screw it.
Final hit.
This is the final boss. And time.
Nice.
Oh, darn.
Oh my god, Woody's face is so scary there.
yeah. You should see N64 Woody. He's even scarier.
N64 Woody is the most cursed thing in the world.
Yep, the most cursed thing in the world. Anyways, we saved the day. And you want to
We saved Woody and Jesse from going to Japan.
We'll have that. We'll let that play out for a little bit. So, well, if anyone was like watching this and they're like, "Oh, this looks like a really, really fun run," you know, this looks like a really, really fun run. Where would they go to get more information about the run?
We do have. Oh, go ahead, Vero.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say you can go on speedrun.com and type in Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue, and you can click on the Discord tab, and we do have a Toy Story 2 Discord. We got a bunch of people in the Discord that would love to help you out. We have a couple tutorials and stuff. They might be a little outdated, but they do the job for now. And yeah, that's basically where you can find all the help you need if you want to join the Toy 2.
Nice. And if anyone wanted to find any of y'all, follow y'all.
I am Electric Man 17. That my commentary is Thermospheric. This game is $6 on the PlayStation Network store. So if you want this game on your PS4 or PS5, I'd say I recommend it.
Yeah, for sure. yeah, I guess for me, you can find me on Twitch as Thermal Square. Follow me on Twitter as _Thermal Square if you really want to. I don't post a whole lot, so there you go.
All right. Any other final shout outs?
I like to shout out the whole Toy Story community. They've been really pushing this game to get this game into a whole bunch of communities. I really hope more and more people show up and start exploring new things that we haven't. So yeah, I guess that's for me.
Shout outs to the Toy 2 community. Like you said, they always show out when we get a game into something big or even just a small marathon. They always show up and cheer us on. So great community. Would definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you both so very much for showcasing Toy Story 2. Do not forget, in just a little bit, we're going to have the first Toy Story from the Super Nintendo coming up here in a minute. But first, do not forget that on October 31st, we're going to have a Halloween Spooktacular hosted by Ecdysis and Smooth Operative. And if you want to follow what GDQ is up to, use !links in Twitch chat for all things GDQ. We're going to take another break where we get things set up for Toy Story 1. Great time to get up, stretch, do all that fun jazz, and we will be right back. All right, welcome back to the Bargain Bin, a showcase or speedrun showcase showcasing games all under $20. I'm Midnight Vesper, and one quick announcement before we get into our final game for the Bargain Bin. Do not forget we do have She Is Speed after this. We have your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channels help support Games Done Quick, both with hotfix and with awesome Games Done Quick 2023 online costs. So please consider subbing if you enjoy the daily GDQ content. And now let's go ahead, since we went through Toy Story 3 and 2, it's only fitting that we go ahead and do Toy Story 1 with Hey in a Closet. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, it's been a while. I think it's 2018. Germro ran it in AGDQ 2018, and met the world record holder for SNES. Ran it at ESA Summer 2018. So it's been a while for the community for Toy Story 1, and just happy to showcase it.
All right, whenever you're ready.
To start off, I'm gonna check the settings just to make sure we're ready to go. We want storyline off to go as fast as possible. And whenever you're ready, we'll start on 3, 2, 1, go. So 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Toy Story 1 on the Super Nintendo North American version. It's specific. We'll talk about specific tech later on that one. But this first level, pretty straightforward. Just like, it's a, I guess Toy Story 1 is a platformer. And there are different levels that kind of stray from the platform genre, but for the most part, it'll stay there. There, I attempted to do a 10 frame jump. What the 10 frame jump is if you hit the button to jump for exactly 10 frames, you jump 1 pixel higher than you normally would be able to. And the developers were pretty lackadaisical in how they develop most platforms, and they said, well, you can only jump this high, so a lot of the platforms in this game can be abused to jump right over. So in this second level, the objective here is to collect all the toys and toys in the toy bin, since Andy's coming home and we have to make sure that we're catatonic by the time he gets back. So all of our favorite toys will be gathered up, rounded up, and placed where they need to go. One thing to note on this level is there's essentially 2 cycles. You can either hit it at 132 on the timer or 107. But as long as you know what you're doing, you'll get 132 pretty much every time.
Nice.
This is the first level. This is probably the most gatekeepy level of the speedrun. In order to go fast, you could walk through it, but there's a lot of specific spots for damage boosting that allows you to go pretty much to the right the whole time. There's some stutters here and there, but for the most part,
I like how Buzz is just chilling and just, hi, what's up?
Yeah, because it's the speedrun, you're supposed to be able to like see each animation and kind of be like, oh, okay, what's next ahead of you, kind of thing. But in the speedrun, he's just constantly moving, doing different things. And join the Discord, we have some nice animated gifs of him doing his thing, so it's really good.
I do enjoy how smooth the game actually looks, though.
Right, yeah, especially for an older generation game, they did their due diligence on that.
Yeah.
The pre-rendered sprites and everything. There's one tech here. I'm gonna jump whip and hopefully hit the clown. Perfect. So you whip slightly before, or you jump and then you hit whip right afterwards, and you're able to jump and whip at the same time and get the hook. This is our first boss battle, Nightmare Buzz. Woody's having apparently a stress dream and
oh wow,
is trying to take down Nightmare Buzz, attack the cheese balls. And his catchphrase in this one, I think I talked over it unfortunately, but he tells you what he's gonna do, and so he says, "You don't want to be in the way when my laser goes off." And that's just a sound bit that's in the game for some reason.
I like how it's like it's a nice like nightmare of sorts, and Buzz is only like 1.5 times taller.
Yeah, yeah. The sprites are very ill proportioned, but you gotta try. It's good. This is our first racing level. Yes, there's racing in this game. How to describe it? It's like driving on butter. It's very greasy. It doesn't flow well as you would. And what I'm trying to do to like mitigate as much time as possible is try to take 45-degree angles, so you don't get the skirt of the RC car. But yeah, it's a maze. It's like everything in this game, just something you have to memorize. Otherwise, yeah.
I'm not a racing.
You'll get lost easily.
I'm not a race car aficionado on games, but I'm pretty sure driving on butter is not a good thing. Number one, it's a waste of butter.
Yeah.
First and foremost, it is a waste of butter.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the big one on that one is you have to hit every buzz. If you don't hit every buzz, the last buzz right here won't spawn. There's also a battery meter in the bottom right-hand corner, so I'm strategically hitting certain batteries to refill the meter, because each battery will give you a full battery charge. Now we have another platform level. Didn't get the 10-frame jump there either, but that's okay. We'll just keep on going. It's pretty much a half second for every jump, so anytime you can mitigate jumping, it's easy time save. But hitting the button exactly 10 frames in one spot is not easy to do.
Mr. Potato Head, no.
Yeah, everybody's mad because you kicked Buzz off the ledge, so we're just trying to cruise through the level. Hopefully not whip too many of our friends, and keep on going through the level.
It's okay. They'll become our friends at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the silver lining. And now we have our first memorization level. If you recall, well, I mean, they're all memory, but like this one specifically, in The Lion King, there's that infamous animal puzzle that you have to like hit just right and know where to go and everything like that. Well, this is pretty much the same thing. You have to know when things are going to come out of the screen for no reason at you, and what's ahead of you when you'll have like a split second to figure out where or what obstacle is in your way. And then you're also just supposed to know that the red planes shoot out army men. So
I'm seeing this in chat, asking some questions because I know this was on a Super Nintendo and Genesis, I think. Was there a PC version of this game as well?
there was a PC version. It doesn't have like nearly any of the skips or optimizations that the SNES and Genesis have, since I believe it came out later. This came out in '95, like right after Toy Story. And so not a ton of people have run it. I think NMET is the world record holder, but I think of 2 people. I do need some quiet time for this one.
Watch out! Oh. To infinity and beyond! Oh. To infinity and beyond!
Okay. So I got the first one, but the other one, you have a couple frames to hit the tire perfectly in the air, and it will hit Buzz right on top of him.
To infinity and beyond!
It's very okay, so that one gave me a bad pattern. Oh, we're going to have to restart it. That's fine.
No.
Very difficult level.
Oh. To infinity and beyond! Ow.
The tire just doesn't want to go on.
Oh.
There we go.
To infinity and beyond! Oh.
Good.
To infinity and beyond!
Okay, a little early on that one. We should be fine.
Ow. Oh.
Okay, and that's the wrap. Yeah, the hitbox on the tire is very wonky. This one is specific to North America. You're able to hit the tire when it's in the air. On the Genesis version, you're not able to do that, and so that fight's a little bit longer.
First try, though.
I am gonna... Yeah, first try.
Yeah, first try.
I'm gonna take a intentional death here just to make this level faster. But I will just keep on going from there. This is a great place to kind of describe how the health and live system work. So in the top right corner is your lives, and top left is your health. Everything does 1 damage in this game. And there's typically 50 stars in every level. It's not always the case. The developers, I don't know, either forgot stars or just didn't work out. But in this one specifically, we're collecting exactly 49 stars. Because at the end of the level, there's a screen that showers Woody in stars and gives you a reward for collecting stars. And so if you collect 49 exactly, you will get a full health refill, 4 stars. And then 48 is 3, and so on and so forth. If you collect all 50, you do get a full life back, but it's not super helpful in terms of the speedrun. So this level and the next level will be trying to get exactly 49 stars.
I did see in chat someone said, everyone's food is falling. So I have to ask, are we in a food fight right now? Like, why is the food falling?
Why is there only 1 child with paper legs?
Right, that's another great question. Why is there only 1? And all the food's falling. What's with the service here?
Pizza Planet. I don't know. It's a sketchy place, I guess.
Or maybe that's the only employee. Maybe that explains it. The person walking back and forth as the employees are serving everyone because it's so busy, but they're just laying it down and it's just constantly falling.
Exactly.
It's their first day. It's fine.
All right, so this is probably the most difficult platforming level. This is inside the claw machine, and there's a lot of really cool sprite work and background work in this one. It's just all cycle based. If you miss a cycle, you're sitting around waiting. So. Inside the coin machines, getting hit by coins, doing the thing. Perfect. Okay. Jump down. Perfect. All right. Here we're going to use a lag reduction technique so that the cell batteries on the left-hand side will pop one by one instead of all popping at once, causing a bunch of lag. Just do that by ducking here. So we'll go parallel and then jump through this. Perfect. There's this undodgeable propeller in a claw machine.
because because reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. And then we have the one final straightaway at the end here. It's a little difficult in timing. 1, 2. Good. Left, right. Good. All right.
Nice.
Through that one. So now that we're inside the claw machine, we're really inside the claw machine. And this is a Doom level. It's a puzzle. You're trying to get the aliens back out of the claw machine. I'm gonna try to do the backward strat, which allows you to go a little bit faster than you would normally if you're turning, but if you get caught, you're gonna have to turn around. And unfortunately, I missed the best cycle, but we're only losing about 5 seconds of time there.
I guess this was obligatory. Yes, this game came out in 95. It makes the most sense that it would have a Doom level, considering that was the hip thing.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, in the middle of my platformer, they put a Doom level.
Right?
I don't know. Basically, if we were able to get the backward strat completely, there's a cube that we'll see right at the end here. That's on a timer as soon as you start the level. And you're able to skip a full cycle if you are able to go backwards. So there's the cube. And we're going to line ourselves up here, and then on the corner, we'll see that the screen moved 1 pixel forward, and that's when we know that the cube actually hit behind us, and we can just walk the cube back.
Everyone in chat is going off and saying, hello.
There's a lot of used voice acting. That's lovely in this game. And this next one, I'll need a little bit of quiet time on this one because this is the claw skip. Missed the first one. Okay, we got the second one. Good.
Nice.
So there's two backups to that one. There's that one, and then if you let him pick up Buzz, you're able to get it again. But this is again another North American exclusive. And what essentially happens there is 1 second. All right. What happens there is we try to overload the screen with the amount of sprites on the screen, and the error detection allows it to just freak out and skip the whole level. So by flicking a couple in the air and bouncing them off the claw, we're able to hit more of the aliens off screen and cruise right through.
Interesting.
The next 2 levels have some really bad RNG with the firecrackers. And I'm gonna for sure hit this, and then we're gonna jump over the nail and jump over. Okay, perfect. There is another tech that I just learned recently, going back through some old VODs, that allows you to skip just this section, found by Easy Gamer 69. But it's so particular, but you're able to skip the hand by jumping in very specific locations and facing left, and yeah, save some time. This one is unskippable though, and essentially we have to memorize where these yo-yos of death will appear and which ones you can just cruise right through. And I usually tell by the background, the little windows in the background, where I can stop and where I can go.
I just love how they reused just hot and ow, and they just put them together like that. Chat's echoing
and
it.
the cornflakes too.
Yeah, all I'm seeing in chat is just hot, 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 ow, 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 hot, 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 ow, ow, ow.
Yeah, it's great. There's so many memes in this game, and it's so good. It's a very difficult speedrun. But yeah, I played this as a kid, and I could never beat it. I could never get past like food and drink level, and so one day in college, I'm like, all right, it's finals week. I'm gonna use my time appropriately and speed run Toy Story, or just finally beat the game. And so I sat there, yeah. And 2 days later, I was able to. I ended up beating the game, and then I took a little reprieve from the game and picked it up again and started speedrunning it because I was like, oh, this is a unique game. It seems good. It's pretty quick. It's only like 20 minutes long. And then I realized it's hard.
And I'm sure you did really well in your finals there too that semester.
Oh yeah,
absolutely,
we did good.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. So we get to see Buzz's karate chop action here, and essentially we're trying to push these minions of Sid off the screen. Once we hit the lava lamp, that's when we know that the screen is coming to an end.
Take that, ow.
Just like that. Ow.
Take that,
Take
ow.
that.
Ow.
All right, and now here's the last memory level. This one's pretty difficult, and it uses some of the frame tech again. If you hit it hit the jump button about let's say 2 to 6 frames, you jump shorter than you normally would. And you're able to miss some patterns by jumping shorter than you normally would, just like that. You'll see like a rainbow of firecrackers and pop cans, which is probably the best example of how the jumping works. But yeah, upon first glance, when you first go through this level, it's so much trial and error. Like, and it just looks so impressive when you're able to no-hit it. But it's literally hours and hours of just practicing the same level over and over. But at least we get to see Scud. Unfortunately, we don't want to pet him because that would hurt. But
yeah.
Can't pet all of them, unfortunately. Okay. So here's the rainbow. Just like that. Yeah. Another bigger difference between the SNES and Genesis. I think the SNES was first before the Genesis. Or maybe there was some sort of limitation. I don't remember quite exactly. But you're actually able to see more of the screen in the Genesis version. They kind of truncated it when porting it to SNES.
Oh, really?
And it just makes things so much harder. You have quicker reaction time. And here's our last driving level. Oops, I messed up the pattern. But we're good. Very specific pattern. When you first encounter this level, no directions, good luck. You're just sitting there trying to figure out where to go. But once you watch one video, you probably know how to do it. And I think this is also where Genesis has an extra level. It's called like Daytona or something like that, and it's like a side-scrolly like racing game. But hey, we're at the final level. If you ever remember the old game Cave, I think it's been ported so many times, but essentially you're the object in the middle and you're trying to avoid the cars and hedges and street lights, and follow the stars essentially, as we make our way from the moving truck to Andy's car.
Watch out! Here it comes.
The developers were pretty cheeky on this last level. They're like, you made it this far. let's throw him a curveball.
Yeah.
And just wait, because it's like if you usually are on your last life when you get here, and you're like, okay, it's so close. I made it through the maze. Well, now you get this big truck, and now you have to go down here, and that gets totally eclipsed.
Oh yeah.
And then you can finish the level. Just crazy.
I just want to point out all the cars are moving, and like everything that I saw with the street lights, they were all red. So I think everyone here is just
everyone's what?
Oh yeah, I just said time to make sure that they knew. But
oh yeah.
No,
yeah,
everyone's
very last section
lights.
you just yeah, exactly. Just running red lights.
Yes.
No traffic laws in this game. Yeah, the last part, the time ends when you see the what do you call it? The headlight of the car. And
Yes.
so we like to just bonk to get the last star and finish it up. But yeah, that's Toy Story. Short and sweet, but difficult to sum it up.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, if I could, I have a couple shout outs.
Yeah, absolutely.
That works. Perfect. Okay. So shout out to the Toy Story Speedrun Discord. You can get your ego check there. And a lot of fun, a lot of good people there. Yami and Enmet frequently join my chat and just hang out. And especially since it's kind of in a lull, it's fun to see them pop in and out. Thank you, Vesper and Ray and the GDQ staff for putting this on and giving me the opportunity to run. Amazing. If you want to get into this speedrun, you can go to speedrun.com and Toy Story 1. And there's a bunch of resources and all that. And there's even a guide by an old runner named Kipples. And that's a really good starting way to get into this run. And just shout outs to the boys in Duloc and my friends and family and my wife and all the hours spent watching me play this crazy video game. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, and if anyone wanted to follow you, where would they go?
You can follow me at I'm a pro gamer. I'm Keg in the Closet, but with 2 X's on the side of it. So X Keg in the Closet X. Yeah, someone else has Keg in the Closet. I've been trying to get Keg in the Closet, but X's work.
All right. Well, thank you so much for showcasing that game. And thank you all for watching all 3 Toy Stories tonight here on the Bargain Bin. While the Bargain Bin may be closing its doors for tonight, do not worry. We are not done here on the GDQ Hotfix. We have She Is Speed coming up next with Stardew Valley and Unpacking. It's kind of a reverse horror day, so I'm really excited to see what that is going to happen. But while we make the transition from shows, once again, we're going to take a small break, get all that taken care of. Great time to get up, get a snack, get nice and cozy and snuggly and nice and yeah, while we get everything set up for She Is Speed. So stay tuned. Have a wonderful night.